But yeah, we're back today. We're just jumping right into Valentine's Day.
I mean, Christmas to Valentine's.
Right. I mean, there's nothing else. Where else do you go?
I don't know. But this craft, honestly, guys, it's so cute.
It's darling.
It is so darling.
Yeah.
We are working with, I've never worked with this type of material.
I hadn't either. Not before this, I hadn't.
It's such a cool material. Like, I'm impressed.
And honestly, now that we have it, I feel like there's a whole group of projects that we can make using it.
Oh yeah.
And we know a bunch of ideas, but honestly, I saw something similar on Target, and I immediately thought, I want to know how to make that with my Cricut.
Make that.
Yeah, and that's what we are as crafters. We just see something and we're like, we can make that ourselves.
Yes.
So this is all you're gonna need. Let's go overhead. I'm gonna show you what we're making. So first of all, these are just literally so cute. I mean, look at it. So
I am obsessed with these. This will be Asher's Valentine's this year, period.
We made Asher's Valentine's on
last year's
Valentine's.
Yes, we did. It was the
it was a pen.
It was the different color pens. But what did it say? Oh, you're the right. But WRITE.
One for me.
Or something. I don't know.
So
you're
cute.
just right, friend. You're just right, happy. I don't know. Anyway,
I love it.
But these will be his Valentine's this year.
I mean, they're like little Etch-a-Sketches or Magna Doodles almost. And it just says scratch me. And then this is scratch off paper. Okay. So look. And you can put whatever saying you want in here. This one is Valentine, I'm drawn to you. No, there's not an apostrophe between I and the M. Okay, I made this really fast for a TikTok.
I did bring this up.
Lord, let me know. I did make some for a TikTok that I think we already posted, but yeah. So you can put whatever sayings on these. You can put whatever names, but you are going to need some specific supplies. So
Maribel, that's so funny you said reminds me of an Etch-a-Sketch, because that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Is an Etch-a-Sketch. And I was the champion for it to say, Valentine, thanks for not sketching me out.
I have it in Design Space. It says that in Design Space.
That's what we're making today.
Yeah, we're gonna have some of those for
Thanks
sure.
for not being sketchy.
I would honestly love to know what you all would write on your Etch-a-Sketch Valentine. If you've got something clever, put it in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say, because me and Lauren were trying to come up with some really funny ones. It doesn't have to be appropriate. I mean, it can be inappropriate.
I mean, y'all
I just
know
want
me.
to hear everything.
Listen, if we wouldn't have had so many people on our live for New Year's Eve, you all know me, like, a motivational water bottle would have been inappropriate if I was making it for myself.
Lauren really likes the tough love.
It would have had cuss words all the way down it.
So funny. Anyways, so this is our scratch off paper we're going to be working with today. Let me take it out of the wrapper. This stuff feels exactly how you would think it would feel, if that makes sense. It just feels like a lottery ticket. It's kind of this thin paper, and the backing almost feels like parchment paper, or like, I don't even know what you would say. It's very thin. But these are basically clear after they are clear after you scratch them off. So you apply them to the paper, and then you can scratch it off, and it shows whatever you've printed on your print and then cut. Okay, so that's kind of the little hack here, so that you can make your own custom ones. You can use this paper for lots of different materials, and you're going to be able to cut this into different shapes. So obviously you don't have to do it in this Etch-a-Sketch model. You could do this for, I don't know, there's lots of different scratch off Pinterest projects you could find.
This would also be a really cute one for like Father's Day, to do a Father's Day card, but do like a lottery ticket type thing.
Oh, that'd be cute. I was thinking really a gender reveal.
That would be
like
cute.
Have everyone scratch for a gender reveal, or like an I'm pregnant card, or I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot. If you look for scratch off projects on Pinterest, there's a lot. So the paper is from
Amazon.
Oh, really?
I bought it from Amazon, yeah.
Oh, I linked my scratch off. That's what, okay, so the shop must be on Amazon, because I linked like our little invoice we got. I went to that website and linked it directly from the website, and it's called My Scratch Offs. MyScratchOffs.com. The #1 leader in scratch-offs apparently is a thing.
Oh.
So, but you can get it on Amazon. I don't know what the price difference would be then. Lauren, do you want to check?
It's right here.
Is it cheaper one way or the other?
Let's see, we got a 10-pack. It's not cheap either way. Like, not super cheap. A 10-pack on Amazon is $28.50.
Okay.
And the reason I got that one was because the 5-pack was $19.99.
Oh.
So for like $9 more, you get 5 more things.
Yeah. And y'all, like one sheet of this is going to give you like, I don't even know, 6 of the Valentines that we're making. So you're not even going to end up using all of it, depending on how big your class is or how many Valentines you're giving out. So, you know, we've got them linked below for you guys though. So if they, for some reason, go out of stock on the My Scratch Offs, you can find them on Amazon as well. If you want, we can add that link in later.
Yeah.
I can add the Amazon link in.
I can't because I don't have access to the back end, or I would add it right now myself.
Yeah, we'll add it here in a little bit. And
I'll take care of it. I know somebody that can.
She knows some people.
I know some people. I'll take care of the Amazon link and get it to you guys.
Okay, so we have the paper. We need a light grip mat because we are going to be doing a print and cut with cardstock. I'm just using like a 60-pound cardstock today. And then obviously you're going to need an inkjet printer and your Cricut machine. We're using the Cricut Maker today. You can make this with any machine that has print and cut compatibility. So that's everything that you're going to need. It does seem expensive for these. This is like a specialty craft item. So it's very specific. If you're going to get them, like have an idea of what you're going to do with them before you just go purchasing, because they are kind of pricey. But really, they're super cute. So we've got Design Space pulled up, but let's go snag our font and our image from the Maker's Gonna Learn website. So I quickly use this Hunter font. For some reason, it reminds me of the Etch-a-Sketch, but also I feel like an actual sketch font would be really cute here. We'll do some of both and you guys can see what you think. So let's download this font.
I don't know about, since we're doing print and cut, I like the idea of the actual sketch font, but they're just really thin when you flatten them. But I like if you go to like the hand lettered font of our website.
Yeah, let's go see.
And like some of the fonts that don't look fully filled in, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I love using in instances like this.
Yes. So like these are our sketch fonts that I was talking about. I could technically add an offset and make them a little bit thicker, but I wanted it, there was like a script sketch font that in my brain is what it looks like when you write on these.
Yeah.
And I think I tried it and it just didn't look right. You know what I'm saying? But you could totally do more of like a handwritten font for this. And honestly, it doesn't matter which one you use, but if you wanted it, like this would be kind of cute, I feel like.
Also,
like this.
Our friend Jen just said, Valentine, I can't shake your love.
Oh,
that's a cute one too.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love these, y'all. This is gonna be fun. Spunky's kind of cute. He's kind of cute.
I'm still not. I'm not inspired just yet.
Nothing's like singing to you.
Not.
It has to be like just the right. Oh, this is kind of cute.
I really like that one.
Okay, that feels right. You know when your heart sings when
Yeah.
you're looking for stuff? My heart sang.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use Transcendence for one, and then we'll use Hunter for one, so you guys can see both beside each other. So I'm going to install my font, and we can revisit that here in a second. Let's go get our image. This is the Valentine sketch pad. All the links to these are in the description below, so you all can download everything straight from the description.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we made this easier for you guys, but you made this just out of basic shapes, did you not?
Actually, Courtney made this file.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it is basic shapes. It's a rounded rectangle, hearts, and a font.
Yeah.
So, and it's an SVG, which I love when we are doing print the cut and we start with an SVG because I can customize it first.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah, because I was going to make these for my best friend's daughter for her class, and I thought I'd love to add her name at the bottom. If this was a PNG, it wouldn't be as easy. I could do it, but it wouldn't be as easy.
Or
you
you could cut the, is it a It's not an SVG? Can you use it as an SVG?
It said it was an SVG. Yeah, here it is.
Okay, what I'm thinking is you just flatten and cut out that part, the middle part. Yeah. And like, what if you use that burgundy glitter as the background of the... and then like had foam dots on the little hearts. So like they stood up. Okay, so the red... Oh, but then you couldn't do, like it couldn't say scratch me on the bottom. That's where it's going to get you.
We could make it happen, but we won't. Because we've already promised the Print and Cut project.
Asher's will be that glitter.
But the glitter, we're going to have to order more of that red glitter.
I know.
Listen, Ashley Falco put out a wine glitter. If you guys haven't heard, we're obsessed with it. It's like the most beautiful color red, and it's so sparkly. It's amazing. Anyways, that's what Laura's talking about. So this comes in as a grouped SVG. So when I say grouped, you can see in the layers panel, it says Valentine's Sketchpad, but then underneath it, we've got all 4 of these sub layers, okay? So when it first comes in, we can go ahead and resize it, and let's see, it's 7 by 6 now. Let's make this like 4 inches wide, which makes it like 3. Is that how big I'm at? That feels small to me. Hold on. Let me measure the ones that I have here because I feel like these are a perfect size. And really, you can make these as big or as small as you want them to be. This one's actually 5. So let's adjust. We'll change this to 5. Make sure your shape is locked. When I say locked, make sure that little lock is locked in and it doesn't look like that. When you're adjusting shapes, you want to make sure it's locked so everything adjusts proportionally, okay? Janice says, I'm picturing you and me. I love it. Susan, Ashley Falco's glitter. It's Celebration Warehouse is the brand. Just search Celebration Warehouse and go look at their cardstock. It's gorgeous. So this is the size that I want. I'm going to zoom in really good for you guys so you can see really close what's going on. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm going to need to duplicate our little square guy. So what I like to do, if it's already grouped, you can just click on the sub layer and like whatever portion you need to duplicate, and you can hit duplicate. You don't have to ungroup it to duplicate it, okay? You could just duplicate it that way. This is gonna be our scratch off layer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change that to silver or gray. And I'm going to change this one that's black on our original image to white. If we do not change it to white, it's going to print out black. Now, you could make it gray. I mean, the original Etch-a-Sketch has a gray background, doesn't it?
It does.
But I feel like that won't pop as much.
It won't when you scratch. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I do like the white and like having the gray as like, it looks like an Etch-a-Sketch before you scratch it.
Look, this is what it will look like. So you can see we did a white background. I feel like if we did a gray background, it just wouldn't look right. Okay.
This is also the place right now where you can really customize even the Etch-a-Sketch. If you wanted the Etch-a-Sketch to be different colors, which you all know the original Etch-a-Sketch, they're all red.
Yeah,
but
red is the classic.
If you wanted to, you could.
Right. So, and if you do want to go in here and customize any of this, you totally can. So like if you wanted, instead of red, which I feel like it needs to be red to really get the point across, I think when you're designing things that look similar to other things, you don't want to veer off of staple moments in the design piece. So like if it's a red, like if it's known for being a red wagon or like a red truck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You want to kind of keep it the same. Now, if you're wanting to do like school colors or something, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's still cute. It's still a cute little scratch off card. But like now that it's purple, it's not giving Etch-a-Sketch. It's giving scratch off card.
True.
Only.
True.
When it's red, it's like, oh, that kind of looks like that's giving me nostalgia. You know, you want people to feel something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's undo it because I want this shade of red. You guys want the hex code? I'm just kidding. You don't need it. You don't need it because if you download it, it'll automatically go. And then we have our scratch me. Now, if you wanted to add like from so-and-so, what I would do is just select that word in your sub layers and you can kind of scooch this up a little bit, not much. You don't want us to get too close to the top there. And you can just add another text box and type in who it's from. Or let's put love. Hallie. And then you can do a font. Now, I'm not sure if this is one of our fonts or just like an image. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we can just pick a pretty font.
It looks like the one we had picked.
What do you mean?
The, you know what I'm saying? The one that we...
Oh, the Transcendence?
Transcendence.
Let's see.
I bet we don't
Oh, I haven't refreshed. Okay, so we downloaded our fonts. Let's go ahead and save our project to Valentine's card. We're gonna save it. And then we've got to refresh because we downloaded those fonts earlier and Design Space doesn't recognize it until we reload the whole project. So make sure you always save before you go to do that. And then I can select this and let's go find that Transcend font or Transcendence.
So Melissa had a good idea, and like I was similar but not the same.
Right.
Anyway, she said this could be a fun mystery date night. Plan with some different simple dates, and then it's a surprise which the one the partner picks. This would be a really good like Valentine's gift for your significant other.
Yeah.
That you just put a bunch of them in like a container, and so like on date nights, they just pick one out and scratch it off, and that's what you guys do.
That's a cute idea.
Like it could be the gift that keeps on giving.
Wow, you're romantic. I didn't even know.
I mean, I keep that part of me hidden.
That's hilarious. Okay, so this font looks weird and white, but I promise it looks cute. I did the Lemon Drop font. Let me put it in black so y'all can see better. I mean, that's cute, right? I am going to shrink this Scratch Me a little bit. It's like hugging that edge just a little bit too close for comfort to me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Does it sound weird to say Scratch Me, love Hallie?
I would honestly almost put the love Hallie in the scratch off.
Okay, we can do that.
And just to scratch me on the outside.
That's a great idea, actually. In that case, let's make it back big again and put it back. Okay, so is everybody with me? I feel like I've been all over the place. I'm etching my name on your heart, Maribel says. Y'all are so creative.
I know.
I just cannot. Okay, so we've got our file the way that we want it. We reloaded Design Space. Now our fonts are in Design Space for us. So what we need to do is decide what we want to put in here. We're going to open a text box. I'm going to change my font to Transcendence. And right here. And what was the one saying a minute ago that I just loved so much?
Hold on, I'll find it.
Oh, I can't shake you away.
Hold on, it's right.
It had shake in it.
Yep, give me 2 seconds.
I ran out of water right before we started our live stream.
Oh, hold on. Can't shake me away. Happy Valentine's Day.
Can't shake
me away. From our friend Smart Size.
These are so cute, you guys. I can't. Okay, this is huge. Sorry. Click off of it. Meow, meow. Okay. Can't shake me away. How cute.
That's so cute.
I love it. Ruby says, I love it.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, I don't love the font.
I'm not either.
It doesn't look nearly as catchy as it did before. Let's change it to Hunter. This is what I did for the other ones. I like this paired with this, and I think that's why I like it better.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Can't shake me away. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's give a capital D. Are there any other spelling mistakes?
No, but I would probably take where it says me.
Yeah.
Hit back, and then try to put it on the same line. And then away. I would hit enter on away.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
Nope, I don't like that either.
Yeah. I'm going to have me and away on the same line.
Yeah, okay.
If anything, I put Happy Valentine's Day on the same line. Let's do that.
And just make it smaller?
Yeah. I'm going to select what I don't want. I'm going to hit Command X. That's going to cut that off. And we can make this way bigger. I'm going to get a new text box, hit Command V, which is going to paste what I cut, hit the backspace key and shrink it down. I think that looks better.
I like it. And then you can put Love Hallie underneath if you wanted to.
Yes. Okay. I'm just going to duplicate. And then we'll put Love Hallie. I wonder if I could do like a... No, that looks awful. Love Hallie. That's cute. Then I'm going to select everything, go to align center horizontally, and it's going to make everything line up right in the center. Okay, cuteness, right? Yeah. Okay, so they're not, are they going to be cut or printed? Right now, let me show you guys what's happening right now. So I just typed out all of these words, right? And we've been talking about how this is a print then cut. I can't stop here after my design is done because I haven't flattened my image, okay? Everything on here needs to be flattened together. And if it's not, it's going to try to cut out all of these letters out of our paper, which we absolutely do not want. I'm also going to change this to black because when you pull in text in the design space, it defaults to this charcoal gray color. And it may look black to you, but it's not.
Oh, it definitely doesn't look black when you do that.
Now when you change it, look.
It looks so much better.
Yeah, so much. So
I wonder why it defaults to that dark gray instead of black.
I don't know. Oh, and you know what else I did? I changed the scratch me to pink. Like just for funsies. I changed that the other day.
So like hot pink?
No, light pink. Like very light pink.
Oh.
I love pink and red together. Okay, it's like my favorite. I tried to get the Valentine's Day Stanley. It's pink and red. I have one Stanley, okay? Tanner and Courtney got it for me last October.
Oh, I've never bought a Stanley either.
Me neither. But I wanted that one so bad.
I have one, but I've never bought one for myself.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I'm just going to do like a red and pink situation here. And look, okay, now we've got it exactly how we want our design, okay? Remember, if you want to change the colors of the image that you pulled in from Maker's Gonna Learn, you can go into your subcategories, your sub layers, and change them. You could even change the colors of the hearts. But like I said before, you don't want to alter the, like, I guess, what am I trying to say? Like, you don't want to alter the nostalgia.
Right.
Of the Etch-a-Sketch, which is a red border, white handles.
White knobs.
And actually, scratch me if it was in gold. That would be money right there. Because the Etch-a-Sketch is in gold on the original gold. Or on the original one. So, anyways, this is what I like. I think everything looks really good. Let's go ahead, select it all. And we're going to flatten. Okay. Can you guys see how different it looks? Especially down here. Yeah. All those black lines go away.
Yeah.
Because now it's just going to cut around our image. It's not going to cut out any of this stuff because we flattened it. And you can even see, look, all those layers that were here disappeared. Okay. Yep. So, love it. If you wanted to do multiple different sayings, you could always like duplicate that first and then flatten them separately after you change the text or whatever. Yep. But this will be the easiest way to do it.
Like do 4 or 5 different ones. Not put kids' names. This is my favorite, is being able to do Valentine's. Like if you have kids or grandkids and you do Valentine's for like school. I don't know about you guys, but like where Asher goes to school, they only have one party in their classroom, and that's Valentine's Day.
Oh,
they don't do Christmas parties. They don't do, because there's so many other kids that are from different religions, different backgrounds. And Valentine's Day is just a general,
love.
We love everybody.
Yeah.
So this is the one thing that I probably will go a little bit more all out on.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad about, because I would feel terrible if there was like all these different parties and me being a crafter didn't go all out on them.
Yeah.
But
they know.
You can do like 5 different sayings, not have to put kids' names on them, and just let your kids hand them out.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, it really would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
It really would. So this is like our print and cut is already done. Now, you would think that we're done over here, but what I found is whenever we go to place these scratch off pieces, it's a lot easier if they're like a smidge bigger than this white square. Because otherwise we're gonna have to line it up like perfect. And I really don't wanna have to do that. So what I did was I duplicated the shape in the very beginning. What I'm going to do though is add an offset and nothing crazy. Let's do like a point, not even that, y'all, like a 0.05. Well, 0.08. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do a 0.08 offset. Let me see what happens if I make my edges sharp. Nothing. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and hit apply. And then I'm going to delete that original square because it's the same size as our white square, and I'm not gonna have a good time trying to lay this vinyl down by hand if it's exactly the same size. Giving myself that 0.08 inch of a leeway is really gonna help. Even though it doesn't seem like it would do much, it really does help. And so now you can see it's gonna cover this up. It's gonna be a lot easier to lay down, and you're good to go.
Or do you have paper in the printer?
I do. Oh, do I?
I
started to put some in there.
I'll go check. But then I said something to you about is the 9500 on this computer.
You're right. And then I didn't. And then I didn't put any paper.
I distracted you.
Okay, I'll send it to the 8100 then.
You might can find the 9100 on there.
Let me see.
If you just look for something online.
Okay, let's look. Let's go to make it. And then, okay, so, and you can see I could do more than one on here. Let's just, so from the make it screen, if you wanted to do 2 on here, you could bump up the project copies and hit apply. So you could fit 2 on a sheet of paper. Now, if you really wanted to use your resources, you could make these quite a bit smaller and maybe fit like 3 or 4. I don't know. You don't want to make them too small though. So I'm gonna stick with just our 2. And then over here, it obviously duplicated that as well for our scratch offs. So next we're gonna go to continue. Deb, I could have made the gray square just a smidge bigger. It's like 10 ways to skin a cat. I keep saying that and I don't know if I'm saying it right. Okay, send to printer. We're gonna use there it is. Okay, 9500 series, that's the one you put it in?
Yep.
Okay, now y'all know most of the time we turn the bleed off. For this project, we're gonna keep the bleed on because it's a full color image, as in the color is touching the edges, and I want the red to go all the way past the edge, so if my calibration is even slightly off, I'm not gonna get that ugly white border. So I'm gonna keep the bleed on, and we're gonna use the system dialog and hit print. And it's gonna pop up behind design space. We're using a thicker, or we're using a medium cardstock. We're gonna feed it to the rear tray at best quality and then hit print. Easy peasy.
Oh, I just heard something go beep, beep, beep.
Could be the printer, could be our door, because it sounds exactly the same. You're the scratch my itch was a really funny one. Mel's Media, can someone please verify what's the print and cut allowance for 8.5 by 11? Do you mean like how big? I think it's like 6.75 by 9.25. Yeah.
If you're using 8.5 by 11, I think it might be more than that now that the registration box. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, don't. I was about to say you can go back to the main screen and make. It also depends on how many, like what all you're putting on your print and cut. Right. If you want one image.
Right. It only will go so big. If you're doing like a bunch of million little stickers, you can like shove it up in the sides.
The cool thing about Design Space now is it pops up a warning sign. So if you want to print it on an 8.5 by 11 and you want to make it as large as possible, just scale whatever you're wanting to do up as much as you can. And then there will be a warning sign pop up, and we'll show you here in a minute.
Yeah.
That will tell you what it has to be sized to fit on an 8.5 by 11. Or you can change the paper size if you have a printer that prints larger.
Right. So lots of options there, and I'll show you guys here in a second.
Beautiful.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, that red that looks good.
Looks good.
Then I printed on the other printer, and my red looks like that.
It looks more
burgundy.
Like,
I don't know, it's not. This is classic right here.
It looks more like Ron.
Yeah, this is more Ron. This is more Ronald McDonald. I'm actually proud of that joke.
That's a good one.
It just came out of me.
It just caressed the hole and it came.
I'm going to cut in Design Space under medium cardstock. And we're just using our fine point blade for this. And we're just going to go ahead and load it into our Cricut machine. If you're about to do a lot of print and cut, make sure to calibrate your machine first and put in a fresh blade. If you need new blades, Amazon has tons of Cricut replacement blade options. It doesn't void your warranty. Everybody thinks it voids your warranty, but it doesn't. So a lot of people say that. Sin says, I know tons of people who say it to mean unavailable. That is so funny. Anyways, so let's see if this cut out. Before I remove it, we want to make sure it cut out all the way, and sure enough, it did. So we're going to remove it from our machine. And you know when we're working with paper, we like to go with gravity. So flip your mat over, and we're just going to delicately peel these off so they don't bend. And I'm going to take this off because it's extra. Look how stinking cute.
So anyway, there's lots of meanings for out of pocket.
Yeah, well, we learned something today. Okay, so there's our pieces. Now we're going to be cutting our scratch off paper. So I'm just going to line this up right up here. Okay. And there's no scratch off paper cut setting, okay? But it's definitely not medium cardstock. We're going to cut this, what did I cut this under? A metallic, something or other. Let's go, metallic vinyl, I think is what I use, metallic vinyl. We're gonna hit done. We'll use the fine point blade for this.
Okay, quick question. Are you wanting to cut all the way through that, or are you just wanting to cut the top layer?
I guess I want to cut all the way through.
Because what does it, like, do you have to peel something off the back for it to stick to it?
Yeah, it's like a sticker.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, I'll show you. So we use metallic vinyl, and I'm like 98.9% sure I used that cut setting, and it gave me little square stickers.
Also, Carol says that we should show them why we added bleed to give us a little bit of insurance to not show the white. Like pull in
Yes. I'll show you.
So this is why we use bleed.
So the red squares there, that is the bleed. If we didn't have that, it would be a lot closer to the edge, and you may have possibly gotten some white like on your actual cutout. You may have had some white around the edges. But when you add the bleed, you prevent that from happening, okay?
Yeah.
Jessica, we got the scratch. You can get it on Amazon or myscratchoffs.com, and it's linked below for you all.
We also added the Amazon link for you guys. You can order this on Amazon. I don't know if it's any, like the price is any different. Let me look.
It's the same product. We just don't know if the price is different.
Let me look at the, so there's scratch off vinyl and scratch off paper linked below. Guys, that's the same thing. They're just from two different ones. The first one is the Amazon link, and the second one is the, okay, so it's the same price actually.
Oh, okay.
I lied. I think on Amazon it's $28, on Amazon it's $28.49. On the My Scratch Off page it is $28.50.
Okay.
So a penny.
A penny.
A penny.
If you want to save a penny. Okay, so this didn't cut all the way through. I think if I used more pressure, it would have. So metallic vinyl, more pressure. Because it cut, you can see, I had to rip it off. Let's just try it again, because I want to give you guys the right cut settings if you are buying this, so you don't have to waste your paper, and we can waste our paper instead.
But you can still use that.
Oh yeah, I can still use them, and I'm going to. But I just want to show you guys a proper cut setting real fast, because I feel like I cut it all the way through the first time, so I'm thinking that I did more pressure with metallic. That time it did not go all the way through.
But if you didn't want it to go all the way through, I would think
less pressure.
You could do like washi tape setting and just peel the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do understand wanting it to cut all the way through too.
Right. Let's just try. So, and then it's like little individual pieces.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so while that's cutting, so we're trying that one metallic, more pressure. I'm gonna put these pieces onto here. Now, I'm not using any transfer tape for this because this is more of a delicate surface. You don't want to scratch it, so be very careful when you're taking the backing off. But you can see it's black on the back, okay? And then it's the silver on the front. I kind of bent this edge a little bit. And you're just going to want to line this up. We're just eyeballing it. I know you guys loved eyeball. Okay. And then I just use my hands to get this stuff down because you don't want to take a burnishing tool and go over that. You don't want to take your fingernail or anything along those lines. You just want to be very careful. Okay.
I almost had a panic attack.
Why?
Did you not hear somebody walk in the door?
I did.
It's Brooks.
Oh, Brooks.
I thought somebody was breaking in on us.
They were coming in on us to get us. Okay. I mean, it didn't even work better. But did I use this machine? I don't know. So Lauren thinks if you just want to do like a kiss cut, you should do metallic vinyl, less pressure. Because this was just metallic vinyl, more pressure, and it cut almost exactly the same as the regular for some reason. Honestly, with it tearing though, it makes it easier for you to peel off the backing. I'll say that. Because it gives you like that little start. Yeah. Because it's hard to get that started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would do metallic vinyl, less pressure.
That way you keep it on the...
It stays on one sheet. It wouldn't be cut out individually. It'd just be like cut on the sheet. So you could fit as many as you wanted onto one sheet, and then you would just individually peel off all the little squares.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then I didn't bring a quarter or a penny in here.
Let me see.
You can snag my wallet. I know I got a quarter in there. And we'll scratch it off just to show you guys exactly how it works. What do y'all think? Do you guys have questions? Yes, you could totally, and I brought the brayer in here. Excuse me.
There was one sitting on the
Oh, I bet that was the
table.
one. You can bray over top of it too, and then all you gotta do is scratch it off.
Also, someone asked if we were using the paper or the vinyl that's linked down below. I said this earlier, but I want to make sure that we are clear about it so that you all don't get confused. The one that says vinyl is the Amazon link. The one that says paper is just the myscratchoffs.com link. It's the exact same product.
Yep.
One is just from Amazon, so if you have Amazon Prime, you could get like free shipping. The other one is just from the website.
Y'all, look how stinking. The kids are gonna love. When
They
I was
really
little, I was like, let me scratch it off.
Let me scratch it off.
Let me scratch a lottery ticket. Okay, and then look how cute. I cannot. Isn't that so fun? I'm gonna dust this in the trash can. And I also thought, okay. I thought I dusted it in the trash can, but there we go. Look at it, it's darling.
That is so cute.
I thought it would be cute even to get the little Magnadoodles from the Dollar Tree and like punch a hole in this and attach it to that. So they can have like their own little Magnadoodle.
That would be cute.
But I mean, Etch-a-Sketch Magnadoodle, it's like similar but not.
Oh, I wonder if you could get mini Etch-a-Sketches on Amazon.
You can. I don't know how cheap they are though. I know we have one. My sister had one growing up that was this size. We had a big one and then we had a small one like this. And these are not cheap. This is like a cool sticker craft.
This is a super, super cool sticker craft that is definitely one I think you all are going to want to recreate. I think you're going to absolutely love this craft once you see this. Like, it is phenomenal. But y'all, not only that, like that, our craft today is amazing. Let's talk about it's absolutely amazing.
And I want to just say that the sample of the project is on Courtney's laptop. So you're going to get to see the final product after we get done. Or in the thumbnail.
Yeah, you're going to have to see it in the thumbnail. Because it is clear it is not here.
Yeah.
But.
All right. So I've got a few supplies here. And like I said earlier, I don't have the finished sticker because we stuck them on Courtney's computer. But we did post a picture in the thumbnail of the one, and that it is like the cutest thing. We're gonna do some like wilderness, like outdoorsy vibe stickers. I feel like it fits the wooden sticker theme.
Agree.
So that's kind of what I went with. Now we're gonna be working with Cricut brand natural wood veneer. Now we get lots of questions about wood veneer, like, can you use other brands, yada yada, and y'all know around here that we do not swear by Cricut products in terms of the materials that we cut on. So like, we don't necessarily use Cricut vinyl, we don't really use like Cricut HTV, but when it comes to wood veneer, I swear by the Cricut brand wood veneer. It's more consistent than a lot of other wood veneers, and it's the right thickness. Like, I know my cut settings are gonna cut all the way through. So I did link the Cricut wood veneer for you all. Now, if you have wood veneer at home and you want to test it out, you totally can. But I just swear by this, and I know what my cut settings are and stuff like that. So don't fix it if it ain't broken. You know what I'm saying? So there's lots of different shades of colors. I'm going to be using just these I have these scrap pieces from old projects. I also brought in a piece of dark because I hadn't tried this on dark yet, but I wanted to see what it looked like on the dark wood. But this is what the packaging looks like. So if you have a place like Joann's or Michael's where you can actually purchase the wood veneer in real life, this is what it typically comes packaged in. And I think it comes like, I don't even know, how many sheets are normally in this? 5, 6, 4?
I think so.
Yeah. So, and it can be a little bit pricey, but if you're making stickers on a 12 by 12 sheet, on like a standard sticker size, if you were doing like a 3-inch sticker, you can make a bunch of stickers on here. So, and you want these to be a pretty substantial size. We're not doing any dainty stickers. I actually pre-cut one out just to kind of have one ready, but that's a pretty good size. So, with that being said, we've got all of our wood veneer here. I do have some double-sided adhesive. Now this is actually for rhinestones, but it's literally just a double-sided adhesive. I linked the Aleene's double-sided adhesive sheets. Yeah, and I swear by those. I love those, and I use them for everything, not just for this craft. I use them all of the time, which is a really random craft supply.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're very helpful. And then this is kind of the star of the show. The wood veneer, they're like a dynamic duo, you know? So this is the torch paste. Now this is from a small Etsy shop. They sell I think they just exclusively sell torch paste. Do they have other products on their Etsy shop? I don't know.
I don't know.
I linked it below for you all so that you can purchase it. But this is just a paste. I'll open it up for you guys. This is just an orange paste, and you apply it to wood and then apply heat to it, and it creates a wood burning effect, which is so cool. So we love to use this torch paste to do wood burning. And then I've also got just a pair of scissors, a brayer, and then I have a strong grip mat here. This is just a regular strong grip mat. And you're also gonna need a deep point blade. So stencil vinyl and a heat gun. The heat gun is what we use to heat up this torch paste. This is the Star Mask by Starcraft stencil vinyl, which I linked below for you all. I just love this because it's tacky enough to make a good stencil, but it's not going to pull up my wood grain. So that's why I like the tack on this one a lot. And then we just have your standard heat gun, okay? So if you have an embossing, I know lots of you do like paper crafts and you do embossing, you can use an embossing heat gun too. We have one of those that I use sometimes for these smaller projects. And because it doesn't get as hot as the heat gun, so it's like a lower heat, but it gives you the same effect.
Did you talk about scorch marker versus somebody was asking?
No.
What about scorch marker instead of torch paste?
Okay, so scorch marker, if you have scorch marker and you don't have torch paste and you want to use it,
it's pretty much the same thing.
It pretty much is the same thing. We have used it a little bit around here. I'll say scorch marker, the last time I used it, which was a long time ago, okay, I'm going to preface by saying that. It's been months and months ago. And I think that they have fixed their formula. It was too runny for the stencil. So what would happen was I would use the scorch marker on the stencil and then it would run under the wood grain. And so it was like when you went to apply the heat, it would be like it had bled through the wood grain. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's why the paste works better for me in this instance, because it's not going to leak under the stencil. So that's just my 2 cents. But I think that the scorch marker, they have been trying to perfect that technique. And Tanner's really good friends with Evan, who owns Scorch Marker. And he is just like a go, go, go kind of guy. He wants to get it done. He wants to make sure it's perfect. So I'm sure he's fixed it or he's working on it, if not. So as soon as we figure that out, I would love to play around more with the Scorch Marker, personally. I think they're so cool. So anyways, we're going to be using torch paste today. So with all that being said, let me pull up Design Space and we will start designing. Let me go to my projects, and I picked out some cutesy pootsy little sticker designs. These are all on the Maker's Gonna Learn website. If you become a member, you get immediate access to these files today. You can make your own wood veneer stickers. So these are the 3 that we're using. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. And yeah, so let's talk about how to make these. I'm gonna move these over just a little bit. So what you're gonna wanna do before you start designing or anything is go find the images that you want. Now I've linked every image that we use today in the description below, but I wanna show you all which images are gonna work and which images are probably not gonna be your best bet. My biggest thing is that you're using simpler shapes. So you don't want to do anything that's super detailed. You can get pretty good cuts with the wood veneer and the deep cut blade, but you really don't want to do anything super, super detailed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be going in here and cutting out little tiny squares out of a globe or anything like that. I think I just searched mountains, y'all. You can search mountains or like wildlife or wilderness or whatever pertains to whatever you want to make. I just thought wildlife fits this vibe. And also, since we're creating a stencil, we don't want anything with too much detail. So something like this is a good. This is a yay for me. Let me show you a no. I'm trying to find an SVG. This one. This is a no for me. Like, these words are these words are way too small. The birds, like this, you got to think this is going on like a 3-inch triangle. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want anything super small. This one, the stars are going to give you like a really hard time. Now, if you're making a big sticker, like if you were making a really bigger wooden sticker, you could do something like that. This is a no. This is a potential candidate, but you just really got to pay attention. So no, anything that's a no probably has words. Probably. Now, if you wanted to,
lots of details.
The only thing I will say this, if you did have something that has words or like more details, you could cut this out of HTV and apply the HTV to the wood and make like an HTV wood sticker. But with the wood burning, we're making a stencil. So we have to really make sure that it's going to cut well, it's going to weed well, and that it's not going to seep under the stencil. Like, there's a lot of room for error when you start using words and things like that on small stencil designs. So you just need to be mindful. I think this would be a really cute wooden sticker. But like, this is so small. The middles of these A's, like, you're going to lose it. Do you know what I mean? So let me type in, I think mine is like mountain scene. Okay, I'm gonna do this mountain scenes in geometric shape. This is just one of them that we have. And then you can see I click download, it pops into this folder, and then we're just gonna grab the SVG. So we're using a cut image today because we're making a stencil. So back in Design Space, I'm gonna go upload image, and then we're just gonna click and drag that SVG into Design Space. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Hold on, hold the phone, everybody. Design Space. Sometimes when it's full screen, it's hard to do the click and drag. Okay, and then we're going to not do that. We're gonna hit upload, okay? So we've got this image here. and then we're gonna add to canvas. So whatever image you do, you're gonna do this same exact process. You're gonna upload the image, make sure you're choosing the right type of image, and then once it's in here, we're gonna resize this down. So you can see right now it's about 6 by 5, but that's a way too big. This one, we made this one about 3 inches, okay? So this one's about 3. I've got this one right here. I'm just gonna duplicate that. So we've got 3 there. And then this is another image off the website. Like I said, all these are linked below. And this one is 4 inches long by 1.3 tall. So that's pretty good, like standard sticker size for me. You don't wanna go much smaller than this. You can go bigger, but I wouldn't go smaller because it's gonna start getting a little hairy for you, like to weed and things like that. So once you have all of your images upload, what you're gonna need to do next is add an offset. And I like a pretty thick offset for this specific project. I just wanna show more wood. So this image that you're looking at right here, that is gonna be the burned image. So that's the image that's going on the sticker. The offset is gonna be the actual wood. So I'm gonna select the image that I want, and then we're gonna go to offset up here at the top. It's at a 0.25, which I think is actually perfect for this. I wanna see what it looks like if we sharpen the corners. It doesn't really do much for me, hold on. No, we're just gonna keep them rounded and hit apply. Okay, I'm gonna actually change this just to like a brown color similar to the wood. And then you can change these to like a dark brown if you want, just so you kind of get a visual. And then for the next one, we're gonna do the same exact thing, add an offset, and then you can change the colors if you want. That way, you know, all of these are gonna be cut out of the same color vinyl, which is that stencil vinyl, and then all of the light tan is gonna be cut out of the wood veneer. I'm gonna change this color to that light brown, and then while it's still selected, we're gonna hit offset. And now if you're doing something like this wild and you're wanting a thinner offset, I just want you guys to be aware. Do you see when I shrink that offset, the gaps in between the tree and the W and then the L and the D, they're not gonna be attached. So you've really gotta make sure this offset is big enough to where it's touching all the way across. So you can see everything. This is gonna be one solid piece of wood. And then I'm gonna hit apply, and we can change it to that light brown color. Okay, that's like pretty much it for Design Space. Does anybody have questions on what we've done so far? It's pretty easy to set up. It really is. In Design Space, everything is set up exactly how we want it. I'm just gonna delete these old ones. And then what we're gonna do is go over here to our Make It screen. Now, I've got all my wood pieces selected right here, and then these are all of my vinyl pieces. So let's start with the wood pieces. Now, let's go overhead because we've got to do a little bit of prep before we go in here and start cutting these willy-nilly. So what I'm gonna do, I want to test it out on this brown. I don't need to cover this entirely with this double-sided adhesive. I actually only need it to be about halfway down. Like, I just need this like corner covered. So I'm just gonna cut me a little piece off of this. You can also, little hack for you, you can use cat scratch tape for these. If you've got cat scratch tape from making cat scratch tumblers with us forever ago. I thought we had some, but I couldn't find it. And Lauren was like, hey, I've got this. I was like, ooh, that'll work.
Yep.
And I tested it and it works great. So what I did, I just cut a little piece big enough to cover the area that we're gonna be cutting our stickers.
This is actually gonna be really good for our friends who did Maker U sophomore year. If you bought the stuff for diamond dots, this is exactly what that is.
This is the diamond dot double adhesive. So you're wanting a very sticky adhesive. Because we're working with wood. So you don't want anything that's gonna be like a sissy. It needs to really do the job.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to actually line this up. Okay. And then I'm gonna take my brayer because I wanna make sure this is on here really good and smooth.
And all the bubbles are out, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you want to get all the bubbles out. It's just going to give you a better cut, honestly. And then, not me, about to weed that off. So we're going to leave this backer on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this towards the mat. Okay. So I'm going to take my strong grip mat, and I want this to be in the top left corner. So I'm going to flip it over. We're cutting from the front where the wood is. I'm just going to line this up. This mat was sticky earlier when I used it.
Is it not now?
It's sticky, but I don't trust it. So I'm gonna put some painter's tape, or like washi tape, masking tape, anything is gonna work good here, just to keep this in place. You don't want this moving while it's cutting. So just tape it right there along the edge. I'm gonna do it on all 4 sides just to really make sure it's not gonna be moving. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Does anyone have any questions? Nobody?
Jamie did ask for Make-a-thon. We'll be getting a list in advance of what products you will need. You actually should have already gotten that in your email. So Deb, I know Sadie responded to you, but I just want to reiterate that for everyone else who may have the same question. If you are curious on the supplies that you may need for Make-a-thon, definitely check your email. Especially if you got a Make-a-thon box, because if you got a Make-a-thon box, there's not a ton that you're gonna need outside of that. Also, if you haven't gotten your Make-a-thon box, if you haven't received that yet, reach out to customer care.
Yes.
So we can make sure we get you a box very soon.
Definitely, because it's coming up. I can't believe March is coming up. It's cray-cray. Okay, so I just hit continue on the share screen. Now, we're gonna go to browse all material. So I am using an Explorer 3 today. You can cut these with the Explorer or the Maker Series, and we're just gonna type in natural wood veneer. I love when I have a Cricut product that matches up with the cut setting. It just, I'm like, I know it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It just gives me lots of hope.
Okay, my next question.
Okay.
Since you added that backer,
Yeah.
do you need to cut it on more pressure? Do you want it to cut all the way through? Or do you need to cut it, leave it on regular?
So if you cut it on more pressure, for me, and I'm telling you right now, I've been using a Maker to practice these on. I have not done it on the Explorer 3. So it's really gonna depend, but on the Maker Series, I use natural wood veneer. It cut through the sticker, but not through the backing.
Which is what you wanted, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like that's what you would want.
Right.
I mean, that's good enough. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to take the sticker right off and then use it.
Right.
So I'm just gonna keep it how it is.
Okay.
And we'll see
I was
what
just
happens.
asking.
Yeah.
I knew that our friends would ask, so I just wanted to ask for them.
No, that's a great question. Laura, we're actually using the Diamond Dot double-sided adhesive, but I've linked the Aleene's double-sided sheets. Those are amazing. I use those for everything. And then cat scratch tape. So really, we don't discriminate. If there's adhesive on both sides, as long as it is a very strong adhesive, then you're gonna be good to go.
Yeah, you don't have to. And the reason that we didn't link this Diamond Dots double-sided adhesive is, one, because it's more on the expensive side.
Yeah.
And the very first time that Alicia did this, she used the Aleene's double-sided adhesive,
Right,
and it worked great.
Yeah.
We literally just didn't have any in the office and didn't have enough time to go get some.
Yes. So, and it's hard to find, like, you can't find it in person. You have to order it. So, anyways, we're going to be using that. And in Design Space, it's telling me to load my deep point blade. Now, if you're like, what's the difference between a deep point blade and a fine point blade? Let's go over ahead and I'll show you guys the difference just real quick. So I've got two here. Now, this is the deep point blade. This is the fine point blade. They look similar, like the shape and everything. Deep point housing is black. Fine point housing is silver, but y'all, these blades can be removed. I could technically put a deep point blade in my silver housing and it would work exactly the same. So you can get like deep point blades without getting the housing. I personally like to have that black housing. That way I know that's my deep point blade. You know what I'm saying? It's like your separate fabric scissors. You want to have them separate from your other stuff.
Right.
But these deep point blade, this is a 60-degree angle. Can you all see that?
That's the thing that I don't think they're going to be able to see the difference in the angle.
No, it's hard to tell.
But that is one of the reasons why the blades are interchangeable in the silver regular fine point blade housing.
Mm-hmm.
However, as creatives and crafters, unless you are very, very like on top of things, but if you're creative, I think there's a lot of times that our brains work different than others. So putting that deep point blade in a silver housing, you're not going to be able to, if you forget that and you didn't change it out, you're not going to be, if the difference in the two is so microscopic, like it's going to be hard for you to tell.
Like visually, you can't hardly tell. I mean, it sticks out a little bit more, that part you can tell, but the black one, the deep point housing, it is at a 60-degree angle, and it is technically made out of a more durable steel. So anyways, that's just the differences. Same goes for the fabric blade, if y'all didn't know. It's in a pink housing, but it's literally a fine point blade in a pink housing. So fun facts. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is slide this in. Now remember, I've got my sticker adhesive on the back side up here in this top corner, so make sure you're loading your mat in correctly because it's gonna cut up in that area. And then we need to put in our deep point blade when it comes back out here. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop this in, make sure it's all the way down. Also, make sure that your blade is clean and free of debris. I sometimes will just like blow on it just to make sure. And then you can close that. And then we're just gonna cut it. We're just gonna cut it. Here we go. Say a prayer. Okay, cool. And the only thing, I wanna just say this, when you're working with wood, wood is inconsistent, just naturally. Like, there's wood grain in it, and so sometimes it's thicker to cut through than others. It's like when you're working with glitter materials, it's kind of inconsistent on the cut sometimes just because glitter is like, has more glitter in some areas and less glitter. So it's gonna cut cleaner in some areas versus others. Same goes for wood. So if you find, and I'll show you what I do before we pull this off, because we can recut this if it doesn't cut all the way through. You can just send it through for one more pass and get it all the way cut through. But it did fine for me on the maker. So I'm trusting that it's going to be fine. Yeah.
If you have had your Cricut for a while and you're looking for something different to do, it definitely gives you the option to do different things.
Yeah, and it is very cool to work with. Okay, I'm checking to make sure that this cut all the way through. It's feeling like it did. It's hard to tell on these wood veneers, so I'm just taking my weeding tool and kind of lifting. I think it cut. We're gonna risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Okay, so now we can remove this whole piece of wood. Oop. Okay. And so you can see it did not really cut through the back. That was from me jabbing the weeding tool out. Let me see if it cut. It did. It's just wanting to stick. I'm telling y'all, this double-sided adhesive that we're using is so sticky. Oh, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't cut all the way through. Yeah, it did. Just being finicky. Okay. Sometimes, and if you have any areas that kind of stick, you can use an X-Acto knife to kind of pop them out. I'm only taking this off right now because I want to show you all that this adhesive is on the back here. So now you have the wooden sticker. Like, this is it, but we have to add obviously the design on it. This is where you could do HTV, or you can go ahead and do the stencil. I'm just going to put this back on here for the next step in this project. And I'm going to remove all this tape because we're about to be applying a pretty significant amount of heat to this, okay? Let's see here. So we've got our torch paste. I'm going to get this here. You do want to have some gloves. I'm going to use this paintbrush. So
I act like I'm about to apply the torch paste, but we need to cut our vinyl first. So let's go back into design space. I've got these designs ready to go. These are going to be cut on the stencil vinyl cut setting. Not reusable stencil cut. That's not what we're working with. We're going to be actually cutting stencil vinyl. Okay, so this cut setting right here. And then this one is going to just need the fine point blade. This strong grip mat is not super sticky, so we're going to use it for cutting our vinyl, but normally you would use a standard grip mat for this type of vinyl. And we don't need a full sheet, just a little bit. I'm going to braid this down, and then we can trim her up. Let's see, I'd say about there's good. Do y'all have any questions about what we just went over as far as cutting the wood, things like that? Anything about the blades that y'all want to know?
Heather said that she's been trying to calibrate her knife blade, but it keeps saying machine can't find the blade. I agree with Aaliyah on this. I think that's one of those you're going to have to contact Cricut support.
And that is an issue.
That one.
I've heard people say that they're having issues with that. Actually, I feel like I had an issue with it recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Cricut customer service is very helpful, y'all. Like if you haven't used them before, they're very helpful. Okay, so I've got it set to stencil vinyl. Let's go ahead and switch our blade out. Where did I put our fine point blade? Okay, just gonna stick that one there. Make sure that's all the way down. Pop it in. I'm also going to be using Caesar transfer tape for this vinyl. This is a good pairing here. I'm just going to trim this up. Okay, this is cutting pretty dang good. So for the torch paste, you are going to want to use a paintbrush. You can use a smaller one than this. This is just what we had on hand. I've got some gloves here. And I am going to keep this stuff on here. I'm not going to take it off because I discovered whenever I applied the heat to these, they tried to curl up a little bit, and I didn't want them to curl up like the wood veneer was trying to curl. So I feel like if I leave it on the sticker, it's going to be better. So we're going to test that out.
So quick, we did have someone ask.
Okay.
Can you use regular vinyl to make a stencil, or do you need to use stencil vinyl? That is a great question.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Like I was saying that if you are working with wood, you're not going to want to use permanent vinyl. So the reason being is permanent vinyl pulls up your wood grain. And so you don't want to apply that permanent vinyl and then peel it off after you've done your wood burning or whatever, and then it like peel up your wood grain. It just looks bad.
You can,
but removable's better usually.
Removable vinyl. So a lot of times the mattes are a more removable vinyl than a glossy.
Yes. And like if you shop on 143 vinyl, you can actually shop removable or permanent. And typically it says removable or permanent. But I just love this stencil vinyl. The tack of it is exactly what I like. And so it's just what I like to use. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm weeding the right parts here.
We did have someone ask, Emily asked if we joined back in January, do we get the hack book? It really depends on if we were running the special. If you are concerned, if you're confused if you get the book or not, I would email customer care for sure. Shelly, we do have a venture. We have a few videos on the venture. We don't have a lot, and that's strictly because we feel like there's a lot of people that
don't have
it. We do have some of our friends on here that do have the machine, but we do have a couple of videos, and we do have the machine.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to use the negative space on this or this part. I'm going to use that part. Yes, that's fine. I was making sure I could do it. My brain was having a brain fart. Okay, and then here, let's do this. Make sure you're weeding the right
parts when you're working with stencils. It can be a little confusing.
It can be very confusing.
Yeah, so just remember, and I think I did it right. Fingers crossed. This is weeding like a dream. I love when that happens. Look at it. Weeded so good. Okay. Now another thing whenever you're working with stencils is that you want to give yourself a little bit of room around the stencil for if you're applying paint. Look what happened. This is why you don't use a strong grip mat with your vinyl. Because the paper sticks to it. It wasn't that sticky though, so I didn't think it was going to stick. Of course it stuck when I didn't want it to. You want to have room around your stencil because we're going to be applying that burn paste, and we really, really do not want to go out of the lines.
So we did have a friend, Shelly, ask if she could do this with a venture. I do know that the housing on the venture is different than it is on an Explorer. Although it's a fine point blade, I would have to do some research. I'm assuming that you can use a deep point blade on a venture.
Yeah.
We haven't though.
No, we haven't, but I don't see why you couldn't if you can use a fine point blade. I just don't know, like, I'm sure they have natural wood veneer settings. Okay, there's that one. And then, do you see how I'm leaving space around these? I just want to have room for mistakes because when we apply this paste, obviously we want to make sure that it's not getting anywhere we don't want it to be. And I'm going to do this one for the wild. I'm going to this is going to be like our little tester piece because he is not attached to the rest of the wood veneer still. So you all can kind of see what would happen if you pulled out the wood versus if you just leave it in here right after it's cut. So now I'm going to take my transfer tape. Let's just sit these here. And I'm going to apply these individually. You want a smooth application of vinyl because if there are bumps and bubbles in the vinyl, when you go to apply that torch paste, it's going to seep under the stencil, okay? So I'm just applying that. And the Caesar transfer tape is just a medium grip, good all around transfer tape.
Yeah.
And then we're going to remove this backing. I am reusing the transfer tape that I just used because why not? And you can see how easy it is. It just applies right on there. Now, lining it up, I'm sorry if my big old head's in the way. You can see, like, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see the cut lines behind
the stencil vinyl?
The stencil, right.
That's another good thing about using the stencil vinyl is because it is opaque enough that you can see through it.
Yes. And honestly, let's go in design space. I want to show you all something. If you do not have stencil vinyl, this is what I want to show you how to do. So let's say that we wanted to cut this sticker out right here, okay? Mm-hmm. What I would do is duplicate this and make it, like, we'll keep it brown. We're gonna change this light brown offset to the same color. And then you can just click and drag, select the offset as well as the image and attach. And what that's gonna do is give you that exact border so you can line it up to this. So it's gonna cut this out and then you can line it up exactly to this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just a little helpful tip if you don't have stencil vinyl and you wanna recreate this. Okay, so we've got, and I'm gonna burnish these down again after I take this transfer off, just to really, really make sure that everything is on there nice and good. This really is chef kiss stencil vinyl. It is, Donna. It's amazing. So just take your burnishing tool, being very careful and mindful of your little pieces. Just kind of pushing these down. We don't want any of that torch paste seeping up under there. And then I've got my wild sticker here. We're gonna apply this one. Okay. I love this wild file. It's one of my favorites.
What?
It's just not lined up. I can't talk or breathe or think.
I feel you.
Okay. I think that's good. Okay. And then we're going to remove the transfer. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so we have all of our stickers ready to go. I'm going to put my gloves on. You can follow all the PPE protective precautions that you want. We're going to be wearing gloves. You can put glasses on if it makes you comfortable. And then make sure before you start that you stir this up really good. Ours, honestly, I probably need to get some more.
You know you can make your own.
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah.
We have a video on that
We do
somewhere.
have a video that it's a member only video. It is in the classes section. If you just type in wood burn, it will pull it up. It's from a while ago, actually.
Yeah, it's from a while ago.
Yep.
But you know what? We're going to make it work with what we've got. Now, this takes some practice, okay? Because it's hard to know how much is enough, how much is too much. You don't want to get too much, but you also don't want to get too little. So I just kind of get some out, scrape off the excess on the edge of my container, and we're just going to spread this out. Now we want a good, thin, even coat, okay, because it'll burn heavier in places that you've got more. So you don't want to get like any chunky sections or it's going to bubble up. It'll like blister up almost. And we're just going to spread this out. It needs to be super smoothed out, and it does have an orange tone, so that kind of helps you see if you've missed any spots. It's very easy to miss spots on this. So smooth it out really good, but make sure you're getting every little corner.
The devil is in the details with these.
Yeah, really. You need to get up there close to it.
But remember, anywhere that this torch paste goes outside of your sheet, like your stencil vinyl, it will torch as well.
Right. You know what? Aaliyah said something about Asher starting Boy Scouts and how these would be cool for a bag. I wonder how well, if you put heat and bond on the back of these, that they would adhere to something like fabric, like a backpack. I just wonder.
I wonder how it would adhere to the wood.
What
The
do you
heat
mean?
and bond.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if there's like another type of adhesive we could use. I don't know. Now, that Aleene's, those are technically fabric, like permanent fabric adhesive sheets, I think. They're like meant for fabric to fabric.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe it would just be fine with just that. So I'm just really making sure I'm not letting this get too thick in any areas. When I first did
I could
these-
also see these on a hat.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. Also, for a Craft Month kickoff, we're doing leather stickers, y'all.
Ooh, I'm excited about those.
I know, me too. I mean, what else can we make stickers out of?
I know.
After we did this one, we were like, what about leather? We could
If we do wood, we can do leather.
Yeah. So, okay, so I've got those done. I'm going to apply it to this one now. You know, it'd be so cute if I did this little tree burnt and then like painted the letters black or something.
That would be cute.
That's just an idea. We won't do it today, but you could totally do paint. I would probably do the wood burning first and then go in and do the paint. So we've got, oh, that W's a little thick. Listen, go back, make sure that it's not gunked up because I'm telling y'all, it won't look as good, okay? It'll like burn more in areas that you don't want it to burn. Okay, beautiful. I'm feeling good. Feeling good about that. I'll put my lid back on. I should have put a ponytail holder in. And then we're going to do these first. So let's plug in our heat. And make sure whatever surface you're working on, you can apply heat to. Like you're not gonna wanna do this on a cloth surface.
And it's one of those things, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like the further you hold it away, like the less bendy it gets. Like you have to be close enough to burn it.
Right.
But you also have to be far enough away that it doesn't like damage your...
Like 10 inches away.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good place to be. Now if you get too close, it'll melt your vinyl and it'll bubble up your torch paste. So you really just want to stay, like I'm already getting too close. You see my lunch lady arms going?
No.
I'm not supposed to say that. I think we got in trouble when I said that. Anyways, you can see it drying out and you can hold it on some areas like, and it'll start burning. Here, I'll hold it right here so you all can see. But like I said, that vinyl gets really hot and melty.
Someone was asking about taking the stencil off first before you burn.
Okay, so it technically says to, but I never do.
Oh, I always do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Let's take it off of one. We'll take it off of one just for funsies. I'm gonna take the stencil off of this one and then we'll keep it on the other one. Just to see.
To see if there's a difference.
Yeah. Oh, what's it doing?
Is it moving your paste a little bit?
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna take it off of this one.
Yeah.
So this one,
or just leave the what's on the inside there and burn the outside, and then come back and get the little pieces on the inside.
Yeah. We'll just do so like. Okay. So this one, we take the stencil off, that one we didn't. I'm gonna set that to the side because we're not doing it yet. And then make sure, just throw your stuff away so you're not burning everything up. And you can play around with like getting closer and further away, but y'all can see this wood is trying to warp a little bit already. So slow and steady really wins the race here.
Wins the race for this project.
And like once it starts burning, it like goes really fast.
Very fast.
Yeah. It's like preheating the oven. It just takes a minute.
So, and there's something else. With this, expect it to curl, but then after you're done with the burning, you can lay it under something heavy to flatten it back out.
Yes. It's burning. Can y'all see it? I'm too close. Do you see what's happening? It's getting real, like...
I can't tell. It's behind.
Getting real sooty.
Yeah.
You can see over here where I put too much, it's bubbling up, but it's not on the where we need it to be, so it's okay. But you can tell like that's what would happen if you got too much of that torch paste on here. It's getting nice and crispy. I'm about like 3 or 4 inches away here, which is probably a little bit too close. But you can adjust it as needed. If you see it's burning too much, just kind of pull it away. It's kind of satisfying to watch. And you want to make sure to get all, especially like with this triangle, you want to get all the corners and make sure it really looks nice and sharp. Okay. She is crisping. She is crispy. Celeste says, make sure to get the vinyl out of the D. Yes, I did. I mean, I know. I saw it. It's toasty, but it's not like too hot. Okay, so we're going to pull this off. Look at that vinyl stretching. This is why you should take your vinyl off before, probably. A part of me feels like the vinyl still protects the wood a little bit with the wood veneer. So that's why I'm like iffy about, I know you should take it off, but.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that one corner got real toasted, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. And the vinyl will stretch because it's still hot. Now you could probably let this cool all the way down and you'd be fine. But just for the sake of the live stream, we'll go ahead and take them off for y'all. Look how pretty it's already coming out. And these are rustic, so don't, you know, there's going to be a couple areas where the wood got hot and naturally wood is going to burn when heat's applied to it. So, but it's still really cool. Like, I feel like if anything, it adds to it, you know?
Plus, the cool thing about this is you can take a very light grit sanding block and you can just give it a good, like, just one-off sand.
Yeah.
And some of that burn area on the outside will go away.
Right. So I'm just weeding off all of that stencil. I just love these, y'all. I just think they're so cute. And then you can weed out all these little water waves. Now, see, do you guys see what I mean? If you were to use permanent vinyl, how it would pull up that wood veneer. It's so thin, and even this stencil vinyl is trying to snag it in some spots. It's not, but you can tell it wants to. If the tack was any higher than the stencil vinyl, it's probably going to pull up your wood grain, unfortunately. So definitely use, if you know that you've got removable vinyl, I would definitely recommend that over permanent. Uh-oh, it's trying to come up. Sorry, I'm concentrated. And just make sure you get all these little pieces out.
Do you need me to go grab a sanding block or anything?
Let's see. Yeah, you can grab one just for us to have. Also, I learned this from working with lasers, but rubbing alcohol will remove burn marks on wood. It's not great in my opinion. Like, it will do it. It's not great, but it'll remove some of those like residual burn marks. Okay, I'm gonna pull this off. Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, it's just snagged a little bit. Y'all, this adhesive is so sticky. Oh my gosh. And then you would just be able to apply this wherever. Now, see, sometimes that happened to me last time really bad. This time, I mean, I kind of fiddled with how I did it last time, but typically if it's cut really well, it will not do that. If it's not cut well and you try to pull it up, it'll snag some of the back of that wood, and you can see that's what happened there. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one, and I'm gonna put this one under here as well, so you all can kind of see what goes on with both of these. Oh, there we go. So this one we removed the vinyl from. You remove the middle of that D before I'm thinking about it. Donna says, I use alcohol to remove scorch marks on some of the wooden laser items I have cut. It works pretty good. Yeah, it will. But it didn't work great on the wood veneer because I tried it last time. I don't know, I think because it's just thinner. Celeste, we're going to be going live twice a week for the next little bit. We kind of held up for going live twice a week because we were working on that craft hack handbook for y'all. So we're back for now.
For now.
We'll definitely be going live at least once a week, no matter what. But this week you get us 3 times. You get us today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And last week we were here 3 times, weren't we? We had masterclass and 2 live streams last week. Didn't we? Or was it just 2?
I guess we did.
I can't remember. So really we're like drying this out and then coming in a little bit closer and putting more heat on more concentrated areas. I feel like that's kind of the pattern that I catch myself doing here. I don't want to burn that wood. I only want it to burn. You can see it's like trying to burn right here. I don't want it to do that. But sometimes if the wood's thinner there, you honestly can't get around it. It's just the way it is.
Now, somebody did say earlier, they said, looks like this is something I can do with I can try on my aura. Yes, if you have a laser, you can definitely do these on your laser. This is just for people who want the look of like a laser project, but maybe you don't have a laser.
Right. I love that mountain file. I think it's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool down for a second. Let's do this one. Please don't blow away. That backer is trying to curl up on me. You see it curling?
You might have to use like a weeding tool to hold it down.
I know a part of me wants to just like
tape it on the...
Yeah, let's just tape the edges. So we think that'll work? I don't want to...
Yeah.
I don't know. We're fitting to find out. Let's just put a piece here. We need it to stay down. A part of me feels like it's going to curl up anyways, but we can try it. Okay. It's like curled up, so it does not want to stay stuck to the table. Do you see it trying to pop off?
Pop off, sis.
It's trying to pop off, sis. Okay, let's try again. And anyways, if your sticker curls up, whenever you apply it to whatever surface, like if you put it on a laptop or you put it on something else, it's going to be flat when you apply it, so it's not that big of a deal. But still. This one is trying to crack, like the wood veneer is trying to crack for some reason.
Oh, I can see it.
It's just because the wood's getting too dry from applying so much heat, but it's okay. Like I said, it gives it character, you know? You can see it's starting to burn. I'm just like tapping where I want to have a little bit more heat, but I don't want to do it for a long time.
Right.
That's cute. Okay. But curled up. But like I was saying, when you apply this to something, it's not going to be that bad. Now that's going to be toasty. We're going to let him cool down. Let's weed this one and see how it did. Love it. Okay. I lost a couple wood pieces here, but it's okay. It still looks really cute.
Yes, President's Day sale is all this week, but the Craft Hack Handbook is only today, Monday, February 19th.
Okay, I just tore off that backing. I want to like put this on something. Can I just put it on my cup? Because I want to see if it's going to sit, you know? Let's put it on the back side. probably not good to put it on a round surface.
Or a cup that's going to get wet.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to see if
But
it,
it looks
how it would
good.
apply. Yeah, I mean, this is just a very cool, unique little craft. These would make, someone said magnets, and I was like, yeah, magnets would be super cool. So anyways, that's pretty much, that's how you do it. And then this one, obviously you can just pop this off and the adhesive is on there and you are ready to go. Here's our other one. Very cool. And that's it, guys.
Very cool.
Yes. This is a unique Cricut craft in my opinion. We don't make stuff like this a lot.
Not a whole lot, but this is one that I think is so flippin' cute. And I feel like that's all I say. It's so cute.
So flippin' cute.
But I'm telling you, like, this is one of those that is super easy. Literally anyone can do it. If you have a Cricut, you can do this. This is, once again, we are working with HTV today. We worked with HTV yesterday, and we're working with it again today, but on a different material.
Yes.
So I think this is really going to expand your knowledge on what all you can put HTV on, because HTV is such a versatile, in my opinion, probably one of the most versatile materials that you can use with your Cricut. There are so many different things you can do with HTV.
HTV is something that I didn't utilize enough as a crafter before I worked here, and which I didn't have a Cricut. You guys know I didn't have a Cricut before, so I always use adhesive vinyl and stencil vinyl, and HTV is so universal and like you can just use it over so many different things.
Yes.
And you know, we've been seeing these hats everywhere for like, I don't know, a couple of years now. There's a girl who paints them on Instagram who I'm obsessed with.
And they also do the burning on them. Like they take like a wood burning tool, but they'll burn on them.
Those are beautiful.
So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be teaching you how to get a very similar style, but not with like, obviously painting and burning and things like that comes with lots of artistries. Or comes with, you have to be an artist.
You've got to be able to like draw it and paint it yourself.
And I'm not saying we're not artists. As crafters, we are 100% artists.
Yeah.
We are artists.
Yeah. So anyways, let me just show you guys what we're making today. First of all, let's go to camera 1 so I can show you from far away. Okay, this is the hat. Isn't she gorgeous? This hat was from one of our local boutiques, Salt of the Earth. I can't find a hat that fits my big old head, okay?
It's just like one of those $15 felt wide brim hats. It's not
nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah, I made it sound fancy, but it's not. If I can find a hat that fits my dome, I'm gonna buy it, okay?
Yep.
So Salt of the Earth had these. I bought 2 and I wore them like 3 whole times and then never wore them again. But now I've fancied it up. So, so anyways, this hat fits my head. This is the outside. Now this is not the Cricut element. The Cricut element is here. Look, like I don't know if it's giving this is green reflective vinyl that we used on here, okay? I say reflective, but it's like metallic. This is one of the hat files that Mary Catherine exclusively designed for us, okay? It's beautiful. And then we know that not all hats are created equal. So you can see, this is the hat we're gonna use today. Obviously they're different sizes. So I'm gonna show you all how you can take whatever hat you have and then make the custom shape and design space so that you can customize your own hat, because they're not all gonna be the same, right?
The brims are not gonna be the same width. They're not gonna be the same all the way around, but
everything is gonna be different.
This little trick that we're gonna teach you to actually get the size of your brim is gonna be worth it.
Yes. So I've got some feathers. Listen, grab whatever you have. If you've got some beads, these are feathers Lauren used for
a trucker hat.
Yeah, she did that cute trucker hat. I think you wore it on a live stream before.
I did. I have.
So
there's lots of cute little feathers.
Yeah, just random feathers. There's even these in here. We won't use these today, but look, these little turquoise pieces.
Ooh, that would be really pretty on that brown though.
Yeah, maybe we could. See, this is the fun part. And I think this will be such a fun party, like to do a hat party and like everyone decorate their hats. Cause like you're not gonna use 1,000 feathers, but your friends will, you know? What?
I was just thinking that cowboy ribbon and that turquoise.
Yeah, okay, we're using the cowboy ribbon. So this is...
I bought this cowboy ribbon at Hobby Lobby, by the way, and I was obsessed with it, but it was too thick for what I needed it for.
Yeah, so we were like, let's do it for the hat. We'll do it on this hat with the turquoise. We'll see. And then we've got, Sadie got these today from the Walmarts. Where's that other one? That blue one?
It's on my table. Do you want to go grab it?
Not yet. We'll see. We'll see. But there's these. So just random assortment of ribbon. This is like a studded pleather string that I had. And then, so you're going to need lots of little bits and bobs, you know, just some fun stuff that you can add. And then I have metallic heat transfer foil vinyl. Y'all know we've been using this foil vinyl forever. This is like, if you did the Santa key with us last Christmas.
Is that the bronze or the gold?
This is the gold.
Okay.
I got like the true gold. We have a bronze too, but I didn't think it would show up as good.
Right.
I pre-cut some of these because they take forever to weed. But look at these words. That is so delicate. Like, are you kidding me? So I love this vinyl because it weeds so well and it cuts like butter. If a lot of this stuff may not be linked, and the reason being is because I just grabbed other stuff than what we used on the original hat. So I'm gonna go and put in updated links for you guys after this video is over. So I've got a standard grip mat here. I have a hot glue gun. You're gonna need a Cricut Mini Easy Press, if I can grab it. We've got our Cricut Mini Easy Press. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on to the second heat setting.
Now, we did have some questions real quick.
Okay.
First one, Donna, and then we also had another person, Tamara, said that they were wondering the same thing. I wonder if I can put this on my summer straw hats. I wear one outside all summer. The biggest thing that I would think that HTV is going to adhere to it. It's just how big is the weave of your straw hat? Like, are there lots of, because some straw hats have a lot more holes in it than others. You know what I mean? Some straw hats have a very thick weave, like a, lots of different.
Like a jute or something.
Yeah.
I would honestly, if you had a straw hat that had like a band of fabric, like do an embellishment on your fabric. Yeah. Rather than trying to do it on the bill.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to like embellish your hat, it won't be the same like design how we're doing it around the rim, but you could definitely like put these flowers on the, you know, on the fabric part.
We also had someone ask what a trucker hat is, and a trucker hat is like an old school baseball cap. It's more like a mesh back hat that has, the front part of it is pretty tall.
Right.
It's got the foam area in the front is pretty tall.
I'm looking for oh, it's the first one. Okay, let's open this up. So, did you guys have fun in the coloring pages yesterday? Those were so cute. Those are good Easter basket stuffers. Those little coloring book canvases.
For sure.
Okay, so this is kind of what your design space is gonna end up looking like. Pam, this is your first live ever? Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be addicted. Live streaming is like way different than our normal videos. You're gonna love it here. So anyways, I've got these two pieces here. This is kind of where we're gonna end up. But I wanna show you all how to get your template. So you know we like to start with a template before we start actually designing. Everybody's hat's gonna be different. So we're gonna show you how you can find whatever hat you have and make your own custom template. So we're gonna start with basic shapes. Come up here to the shapes panel and we're just gonna pop in a circle. Now we're gonna need to know the size of the perimeter of our hat. So let's go overhead and I'm gonna nip off my things here. I'm cutting it like I do that in real life, but I actually pull them off of everything. So this hat is 13.5 by, I'm measuring from edge of brim to edge of brim, okay? So this is 14.5, we'll say, and by 13, okay? So I don't know why I put 13.5. We want 13 by 14.5. Okay, that's our outer rim. Now I'm going to just duplicate that. You can use this little duplicate button up here on the top right. This one is going to be our inner circle. So let's go back overhead and measure our inner circle. So I'm measuring all the way across. That is the diameter, right? Diameter, perimeter, radius.
Diameter, circumference, radius.
What's the perimeter then? The perimeter is another thing. I mean, it is a thing.
It
the
is,
circumference.
But it's circumference.
Okay, we're getting the diameter 7 by 8.5. Okay, so we're gonna go and measure this one, 7 by 8.5. Okay, and then we're just going to, you can see that I have 2 circles here. I'm gonna change the color so you guys can really see what's going on here.
We also have someone else who is with us for the first time live, Brenna Williamson.
Oh, hi.
Just became a member last week. A little overwhelming, but so much fun. We 100% agree.
Yes.
I think Alicia and I can both concur that when we started with Cricut, we were, oh my God, so overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, there's
So
just lots of
overwhelmed.
fun things to do.
There is.
So, anyways, we've got our 2 circles back in Design Space. We have our 2 circles. I'm gonna click, drag, and select both of those circles, and we're gonna go to Align Center. This is gonna put that circle right at the center of my hat, okay? And then while I have them both selected, you can see I've got them both selected, I'm gonna go over here to our Combine menu on the bottom right, click that, and then we're gonna hit Exclude, and watch what happens. It takes out the middle, okay? So that's pretty much all you need. You can change this to the color of your hat if you want to, or if you wanted it to just be a guide like it is over here, you can select it, come up here to Operation and hit Guide, and it just gives you the red outlines. But I want mine to be brown, and I need to also let it size back down. Okay. If you want to zoom in and you need to be closer, don't make it bigger because we just sized this exactly how we want it. So you just need to zoom in. So here we go. Now we've got our hat template. Now we get to go pick out the fun part. So let's go to the website. We're gonna go to Maker's Gonna Learn. We're already there. We can go to our dashboard. We're already technically in the cut files.
So I do want to address a quick question that has been asked a couple of times. Quanda asked, could you use the foil on top of adhesive vinyl like you did with the voicemail video? So first of all, the voicemail video that we did, it was a clear HTV adhesive that we put on it.
It's like a specialty material.
It's like a specialty material. It's not adhesive vinyl. It is a specialty HTV that has like an adhesion to it. And if you have electrofoil and you want to use it, you can, but with this specific hat, the results are just gonna be so much more flawless if you just get and I want to say, if you want to show them that name brand of that foil HTV one more time, I think it's like
T-Vinyl Warehouse.
T-Vinyl Warehouse from Amazon. It's gonna give you a flawless result every single time.
Now, you could use this foil on top of adhesive vinyl though.
Yes.
Because this is just standard, it's just a foil HTV. So you can use foil HTV on adhesive vinyl. Like if you're wanting to make a sticker.
Yes.
With this on it. Yeah, you could do that.
You can do HTV on top of adhesive vinyl.
Yes.
But back to our design.
Yes, back to our design. So we're on cut files. So if you can't find them, they're always right up here at the top of our website. And then when you get here, I want to say it's under felt hat. Let's type in felt. We have
just the word felt? Okay, cool.
I guess that's for like labels or something. We have so many files, you guys. Okay, these are the 3. Are these not adorbs?
I love them.
Me too. So this is the one we used on the green hat, but I was feeling a little frisky and thought, let's use this one because I really like how these are like
turned sideways.
Yes, I
do
love
too.
that. So let's download that. And you're just going to click that down arrow and it's going to go into a zip folder. I'm going to click it. If you can't find it, go look for it in your downloads folder on your computer. And it'll be under felt-hat-floral. And I'm going to open that up. And you're going to have a PNG and an SVG, but we only need the SVG. So I'm just going to keep this box up. Just keep it up. And we're going to open up Cricut Design Space. Go over here to this left side panel. We're going to select Upload. And then we're gonna go to upload image over here on the far left. And then I'm gonna pull back that little folder that I had open. So I just popped it back in front of the screen. If you need to, you can move Design Space down and then you can just click and drag that file into Design Space. How easy is that to upload a file? So I have to hit upload. And then we have to add it to our canvas. So it's uploaded in Design Space, but it's not actually on our canvas yet. So I'm going to select it here. And then you can see that it's added right here. And we're going to hit add to canvas. Okay. Okay. And it's going to come in at like a standard size. So this is where you have to start working with the files and kind of moving them around to make sure that they fit whatever hat you have. This almost fits perfect, but you can see like it's very close to the edges and it needs to be messed with. So let me get a drink of water, sorry. I'm parched. Okay. So I was kind of playing around with this before the live stream and I was like, I kind of want to do something a little bit different. Y'all know how we are. We like to zhuzh it up a little bit. So I was thinking I just really want a portion of this. So I'm thinking we want to do like flowers down here. So hypothetically speaking, if you wanted to do it exactly like this and you wanted to do these all the way around, you would have to like separate the individual flowers. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to, step one, separate a flower off that needs to be resized because some of these are going to need to be like shrink. Some of them fit just fine. I'm going to show you how you can do that. What I would personally do, and there's 100 ways to skin a cat like Lauren says, what I would personally do is go ahead and make a duplicate. Okay, this is my original. I'm just going to keep him there. He's going to hang out there. And I am going to contour off anything I don't want. Now we can slice a big chunk of this off. I think I'm going to slice a big chunk of it off just to start. So what you're going to do is take a shape. We're just going to go over here to our basic rectangles, squares, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to unlock it. This is going to allow me to freely move my square. Okay. And I'm just going to slice off these right here. Okay, so it looks a little weird because you're like, hey, you're cutting into that one. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix it. So we are going to, let me zoom in. We're going to cut off that little section of the flowers. Okay, so I just put a square over what I want to cut off, and then I'm selecting the square and the image. Okay, you can only slice with 2 layers. So I've got 2 layers selected. We're going to hit slice down here on the bottom right. And you can see it does this after I hit slice. Do you see what happened? And then we're going to select all of these extra layers. We don't need them. So now this is what we're left with. Okay. So it looks a little weird. It's like not exactly how I want it. So what I'm going to do next, since we're working with an SVG, we can use this contour function down here on the bottom right. And me and Lauren were just talking about how the contour feature of Design Space is one of the best features that they have. And like not a lot of design softwares have this feature, but I just really love it. So this is something where you can delete out portions of an SVG image that you don't want, and you don't have without deleting the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is zoom in. Okay, where did it go? I'm going to zoom back out because I don't know where it went. Not me sticking my foot in my mouth. I am. It won't go anywhere. Okay, let's X off of it and open it back up again. What I'm going to do is select a good portion of this up here and delete it. And did you guys know this? When you get into this contour feature that you can click, drag, and select multiple, well, it let me do it in there. It let me click, drag, and select multiples. There we go.
There it is.
Okay. So
I did not. You learned something new. That's one thing I didn't know you could do.
Yeah, but like it doesn't get it all. So I don't really know how well it works. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to go in here and click on all these little individual pieces, and I'm going to need it to zoom in for me because I can't see what's happening. Now I can go over here and select these guys, but I would rather not do that. Because see, look, when I X off of it, look what happens. Do you guys see?
Nikita said my zoom in on contour hasn't worked in like a month. Add it to the list.
I was fixing to say, add it to the list.
Did you see our Sunday video that we posted about what has happened to Cricut? CEO of Cricut responded.
Yeah.
They're sending it to their IT team.
Yeah.
They are on it, and we have a response.
We're rallying people.
Yeah,
we're rallying.
We are behind you guys.
Yeah, and honestly, all thanks to you guys for like commenting on that video, because everybody was like so supportive and like they were like, yeah, heck yeah,
Yeah,
Like, thank you for saying it.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we had been kind of talking about like that we should make a video about it, but we were like unsure because we didn't want you guys to get the wrong
Zoom and undo are the top two on our that don't work.
Zoom and undo and like the 12 by 24 snap like matte default. That's so annoying. We got a whole list, honey. I went through the comments. We had like 1,200 comments. I was like literally going through comments this morning, writing down everything that you all do not like about about Design Space this morning. So anyway,
and it's not even things you don't like. It's just issues we've been having.
Right? Yeah. It's like things that need to be fixed. So okay, continue. So we're gonna keep working on this. I need to cut all those little pieces out, and since I can't zoom in on my contour, I'm gonna slice them babies off. I'm just gonna cut them off. I'm just gonna go get me a little square, and I'm gonna come over here.
Now, we did have somebody ask, can you explain why you are doing this? The reason that we are doing this is because not all hats are going to be made the same, and you're probably more than likely going to have to manipulate at least one portion of some of these files, okay?
Right.
So what we're doing is we are literally just manipulating this file so it's on one side, because that's the design that Alicia's wanting to go for, is that it's the florals are on one side and words on the other. So that's what we're doing. We are literally just manipulating this file so that we can have it exactly how we want it.
Yes. So I'm just showing you all a couple ways. You can use the contour function. You can use the slice function. You're probably going to have to use a combination of both, if I'm being really honest with you. But if you are wanting like just a few flowers, you can do what I'm doing, but just get rid of more flowers. Do you see what I'm saying? So whenever we're teaching you things, we really want you all to take the techniques and then incorporate them into whatever craft you're making. So don't feel like, well, I'm not making it exactly like that, so I don't really know how to do it, but you do know how to do it because I just showed you how to use the contour and I showed you how to use the slice feature. So if you all are wanting to, if I went through it too fast, you can always rewind me and rewatch 100 times. Like, nobody's putting a number on it. You can watch it as many times as you need to until you get it. And then once you get it, it's like stuck, for me at least, it's stuck in my brain after I've done it a few times. It's like riding a bike. So that's pretty much how I got this to where I want it to be. Now, let's go look at the sizing and see what it looks like. I'm wondering, I'm gonna shrink it just a little bit. Now, a lot of people will wanna come over here and they will want to hit the unlock and then like warp this. While you can do that, be very careful because it may mess up the shape of your flowers and make them look like distorted. So you wanna be very careful, okay?
Yes.
Someone asked a really good question. Kim says, why don't you just ungroup the image and choose the individual flowers to do whatever you want to do with? Let me show you why I cannot do that. So look over here. So this is the original image, okay? It hasn't been touched. I haven't resized it. I haven't sliced anything out of it. Look at our layers panel. So this is a 1-layer SVG. Now sometimes SVGs will have multiple layers where you can manipulate it, but the way that this was designed was to go around the rim of a hat. And so it's laid out in a circle pattern.
So it's a compound path, like you
right,
can't move it.
Right. So that's why I'm showing you how to do it. But that's fine because now we're learning how we can manipulate files to work for us, right? Rather than against us.
Yes.
So I think this is really cute.
Love it.
I'm going to keep it like that. And listen, if you wanted to, you could, like if it wasn't fitting this way, you could always take this one that we just created, duplicate it, and then flip it, and it would fit on the other side. You would just have to kind of play around with the angle and all of that. Does that make sense? So anyways, I just like this one little area, and I was thinking it would be really cute if we did words. So I'm going to use this font. I think it's not Nomad. What font did I use for this today? Oh, it's such a pretty font. I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Anyways, I'm going to put You Belong Among the Wildflowers, and we're going to go find a really pretty script font. I want to say it was either Sangria or I don't know. It's very thin, but
Look, I was trying to look at it.
I think it's a new font. Let's go look. So I'm back on our website. I'm gonna go to fonts, and I wish y'all could see me talking with my hands when you're not even looking at me. I'm like, we're gonna go to the website, and like, no, literally nobody can see me moving my hands. Oh goodness. Okay. Now, I love this part of our website because I can type in what I'm putting on my hat and see what it's going to look like before I even download it. So I don't have to waste my time going through here and like downloading all these fonts and doing all this stuff. I don't want to do that. So let's type in our saying, you belong among the wildflowers. Okay, Tom Petty. And hit preview. Now, this font right here is going to be a hard no for me.
It's a beautiful font.
Oh, it's gorgeous, but
for HTV or adhesive vinyl, it's a no.
For small, too, particularly, I think.
If you did one, that is very cute. If you did one large letter,
yes,
it would be doable.
Yeah, I agree. This is cute. This is cute.
Christine, no, there is not a difference between nomad and gypsy. We actually just renamed gypsy because it's a derogatory term, and we did not realize it, and we always want to try to correct our mistakes, so we named it nomad.
Yes. So let's go see, because I was thinking in my brain it was going to be like, there's Sienna. It was going to be like a really pretty handwritten script. There's Sangria.
Is it Bridget?
Is it Bridget? Is it Bridget? Let's go search Bridget. I already have that one downloaded in here, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
No, it's the tail of the Y is different, I think.
Listen, I'm gonna link the one that I used here, y'all. But we're gonna use Bridget for the tutorial, okay? Because I don't know what font it is. But this is like the same, literally the same vibe. I don't know if that y'all will even be able to tell a difference. So I've got my font here. Now I'm going to turn this baby a little bit. A little bit more. And then I like to turn it, how do I say this? I like to turn it to the width that I want it because I'm about to arch it. So I like turned it because it's going to go right here. So I'm turning it so it matches that angle, and then we're going to curve it, okay? So I've got my text box selected. I typed it out exactly how I wanted. And then we're gonna go to curve. And this is where you can curve it, okay? Now I'm gonna click off of it and move it up here so we can see it go better. And you can make this as curved as you want. I mean, you could hug the head if you really wanted to, which would be really cute. Let's see what that would look like actually. The nice thing about this curve feature is I can click off of it and come back to it.
I would just twist it a little bit. Nope, other way. Right there. Right there, looks pretty.
That's cute.
That's very cute.
It's cute. It's hard to see, y'all. Let me change the color of the hat for you. There, now we can see it better. I was hurting my eyes trying to look at that, wasn't it? Isn't that cute?
I love it.
I love it. So, yeah. So once you get it designed exactly how you want it, make sure your sizing is exactly how you want it. And then you're like ready to cut. That's it. So I'm going to hide everything that we don't need. Now, I'll say, I already cut these out because it takes forever to weed. But I'm going to tell you my cut settings. That way you guys know. And I'm going to show you how to lay it on there and all that. So we can hide our template because we don't need the hat shape, okay? We don't need that. We only need our designs that we made, okay? I'm gonna hide these flowers, hide these flowers. We only need these two pieces, okay? So, we're using Explore 3. Let's go to Make. And then, now we're using heat transfer vinyl. So that means we need to mirror. So I'm going to mirror, and I'm going to come down here. I'm going to mirror that. I will say you do use a lot of vinyl for this, but you can save your innards and use them for scraps.
Other things, yes.
Yeah, you have pretty big scraps on this one, so we save them.
So Deb said, isn't that font going to be really hard to weed? It is a little harder to weed, yes, but The good thing about this foil vinyl is it weeds so well.
I'm going to cut the words for them.
It's like insane how well this foil vinyl cuts.
I'm going to cut the words for you guys just so you can see because it's just amazing. And also I really like how it like hugs the rim of the hat.
Right.
Okay, so we've got our, excuse me, we've got our standard grip mat. This is that gold vinyl. I'm going to put it shiny side down, okay? And we're going to start with the words. Now, these words, they arch out pretty far. So check in Design Space. Let's look. These words arch out to like right at 8 inches. So make sure, because these gold sheets are not 12 by 12, they're 10 by 12, which is a really weird size, but they're 10 by 12. So you want to make sure that what you're cutting is fitting in here. And if it doesn't, see if you can, like if you need to rotate your wording or something.
You can rotate it in Design Space.
Right.
If you need to rotate it, you can rotate it.
You could do like this. You can move it.
Yep.
And so, you know, whatever you got to do to get it to fit on your piece of paper. Okay, so from here, we're going to go continue. Jessie, that's a great point. You can always offset your fonts to make them thicker if you'd like as well. And I can show you guys how to do that if you want. So we're going to cut this on everyday iron-on. I always cut this vinyl on everyday iron-on and it's fine. And then we're going to load it into our Cricut machine. And while this cuts, I'm going to show you guys what you can do using an offset to make your words a little bit thicker. Okay, the Gold HTV is T Vinyl Warehouse. I keep forgetting the name of it. Is that what it is? T Vinyl Warehouse, yeah. Okay, but listen, if y'all use this vinyl, particularly this brand of vinyl, this T Vinyl Warehouse, if you use it and you cut thin words like this, I can guarantee it cut. I can't guarantee it cuts, but I personally have cut so many teeny tiny script words with this vinyl and it cuts so good. I don't know if y'all saw, it wasn't last Christmas, but the one before that, our tablescape that we did, we had a little deer with a name on it and everybody was like, how did you cut it so small? Tell me how you did it. And we were like, good vinyl, this T Vinyl Warehouse, good vinyl.
Yep.
And just cut it on the everyday iron-on cut setting. And I swear that's all we did. So it is very good quality. Okay, this is coming off. We can reattach her if we want to. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Use your scissors. Where's my little babies? Little baby scissors are so handy for this project.
They are.
Here we go. Also, I feel like I'm all over the place. Is it just me?
What do you mean?
I've been severely dehydrated for a couple days. So I feel like I'm all over the place with this tutorial, but hopefully I'm easy to follow. They really sewed this sucker in.
You're still cutting? Jeez.
Yeah, they like sewed it. This is really cute. We might use it again.
That is super cute. What could we use it for? That'd be kind of a...
I don't know. We could put it back on the hat. Maybe. I'm going to pull these strings out. Okay. Cute, cute, cute. See, it's just a plain Jane hat. And we're about to zhuzh it up, y'all. Okay, I'm going to pull my vinyl over here. Now, like I said, you do waste quite a big chunk of vinyl. I won't say waste because you can reuse it. I'm just going to cut around where my words are. And I'm going to save this stuff for scraps because really, I do a bunch of stuff small with this vinyl because it does so good.
Those jewelry cases will be really good for this scrap vinyl.
See? Already got a project in mind. So that's a pretty, I mean, I can save all that.
Yeah.
So we're going to save that and then we're going to weed this and get a, okay. I wish I could zoom y'all in because you probably going to be able to tell. Okay. Also ignore my self-tanner hands. Okay. I get it. I have ugly self-tanner hands today. It's just how it is. They're not dirty.
You have one self-tanner hand.
No, they're both. They're both.
Okay.
It's okay. Ginger problems.
It's all good.
Look, y'all. So I just kind of like snapped that part so I can just weed the top. I don't like to try to weed the top and the bottom of something. I like to just weed the top first, especially long, dainty words. But look at this. Are you kidding me? Like butter. Uh-oh.
But don't say anything.
It's just the dots of the eyes. They just don't want to stay. They don't want to stay. It's okay. It's implied.
Donna says, what was the super pretty gold in our mystery boxes? That is actually just a StarCraft gold adhesive vinyl. We wanted to throw something. We did not use that for Make-a-thon. We just wanted to throw that in there extra for you guys.
A little extra razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to come back. Y'all, it's painful to watch me weed sometimes. I'm sorry. So I'm just pulling this away from the words. And actually, I can come back over here and kind of weed. And sometimes you'll see the HTV will try to curl up, but the transfer is sticky, so you can just stick it right back down.
Kim says it just looks like you were working really hard staining projects.
What? Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, that's staining my entire body with self-tanner. That's what I'm going to start telling people, though. That's a good idea. Used to, now, really, when I did do wood signs all the time, my hands looked crusty all the time. And I wore gloves, like, to stain and stuff, but golly, it's awful. Listen, I'm going to use a pen tool for the middles of these letters. This is why I weeded this before, but I really wanted to show you guys. So I'm going to use a pen tool for the middles. And look, this is what I do to stick my little pieces. I will cut off a piece of this transfer tape and just sit it there, and I'll stick all my little pieces to it. Hack. Hacky hack.
There's a Caesar Easy Weed Electric, but they're not super like foiled.
They're not like this.
Right.
Where it's reflective.
Strip flock, stretch, fluorescence. Oh, Caesar metals. JK.
Can you get Caesar, Fred?
Don't know. There was also something else. Christine says Christine says I've used Cricut foil and it works good.
Oh, good. Okay, there you go.
Lorraine, the foil is from Amazon. It's T vinyl. We will link it here in just a few minutes. We did not use it on the first one, which is why it's not linked down below.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you guys updated links as soon as we get out of this live stream. So this pen tool you can get on 143 vinyl, and they're amazing. Or if you want to make your own, you can just use a sewing needle and a mechanical pencil. It's just a little tiny needle in the tip of a pen. And it gets out all these little bitty pieces. So, and then we can like dry fit it before. That's what I love about heat transfer vinyl. You can kind of lay it on here and like make sure you've got it fitted correctly. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys are getting the pretty reflection. Yeah. Okay.
So one thing I want to address. Deb said earlier, that's confusing then. What does carrier mean? I thought it meant it was the backer sheet. So some instances, the carrier sheet is on the back. Those instances are going to include permanent vinyl. Permanent vinyl has a backer or a carrier sheet that is on the back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's a paper backing. 9 times out of 10, it's a paper backing. Sometimes the backing on permanent vinyl is plastic, but 9 times out of 10, it's more like a paper-ish type backing, carrier, whatever you want to call it. Carrier sheets for heat transfer vinyl are always on the front of the vinyl because it's kind of like the heat transfer vinyl. With adhesive vinyl, what sticks to everything is on the back of the vinyl. Same thing with heat transfer vinyl. It's on the back of the vinyl what sticks to everything, but how you apply it and how that adhesive is activated is completely different. So heat transfer vinyl, obviously you have to have heat to activate the sticky part of it. And so it doesn't have neither side. The only sticky side is the carrier sheet that's holding the vinyl down to it.
Yes.
So that's why with vinyl, you have to do carrier sheet down and permanent carrier sheet Carrier sheet is always going to face the mat, either way you go. Carrier sheet always touches the mat.
This is why I think that they got confused, because when you said it, I started to get confused, because in my brain, permanent and permanent vinyl, adhesive vinyl, like the sticky vinyl, non-heat transfer vinyl, doesn't have a carrier sheet. You apply that transfer tape is the carrier sheet in my brain, and I think that that's why. But I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you explained it. So
carrier sheet. Just think of it as the carrier sheet to your vinyl is the side that's not cut.
Yeah.
Always.
That's a good way to think about it.
It's the protective. So just like with heat transfer vinyl, the carrier sheet protects the front of the heat transfer vinyl, and the carrier sheet with adhesive vinyl protects the back because it protects the sticky part.
Right. Right. Precisely. Okay. Let's get into this. So we've got our words right here. Okay. And then I've got my flowers. Now look, we've got some gaps here. It's bothering me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go in here and cut it with my scissors. Why not, you know?
Yes.
You can just cut it, and I'm gonna cut this one. And I don't wanna move them too much. I just love making these hats, you guys. They make me so happy. They like bring me joy. I think it's because it's like it's very crafty. Like I get to like glue and put stuff and embellish, and it just makes me happy.
So we did have someone ask, can you purchase carrier sheets for HTV for t-shirts? So you normally do not even have to have a separate carrier sheet. You use the built-in transfer tape or the built-in carrier sheet for HTV for shirts.
Yes.
You don't have to have another one. The only other time you would need transfer tape. So I think we're getting confused with carrier sheet and transfer tape.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I think that's what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's not elaborate.
Let's finish the lesson, and then at the end we'll take questions on carrier sheets and transfer tape and whatever you guys have questions on, because we're gonna get way lost.
We are.
Okay, so I've got all of my flowers where I want them and my words where I want them. And someone said, how are you going to put pressure on that? Well, I'm going to use my hand. You could use, this is a good option.
Or a mat. Hold the mat underneath.
You could hold the mat underneath. I've got a roll of paper towels here. I mean, anything.
Literally whatever.
It adheres so easily, y'all. You're going to be like, oh,
You don't have to put a lot of pressure. That's the thing is with this is you don't have to put a lot of pressure.
Exactly. So, and what I'm going to do first with especially with my words, because I have them right where I want them, I'm going to like tack them down. So I'm going to like, psh, 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 and then, you know, so we're just going to give a little bit of heat here. And a little bit of heat here.
Kathy, the hat is from Walmart.
Yes. I'm just kind of
Lorraine said the edge of a table. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. So I'm just kind of tacking it down. And then you can just, I can literally just hold this and do it. Do what feels comfortable for you, because it's very awkward. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure here. I sound like a doctor or a nurse. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure here. And I'm like, that's not pressure. That is painful, but thank you. Y'all, this vinyl is so pretty. Like, I don't think that it does
not translate on screen like it does in person. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and like reflective. Ugh.
It's like where our ceilings are black, it almost reflects the black back on it, so you can't really see it.
I know, like.
That's how reflective it is.
Yeah. Make sure. And so when you
it's
go.
It's also a cool peel.
Yeah. Warm to cool. So like if it's hot and you try to pull this off still, it's not going to work. So make sure. And do it slow, because sometimes some parts of the vinyl may not completely be adhered yet. And you just have to go back in and apply a little bit more heat. Oh, that is Gorgina. Also, I've been calling Georgia Gorgina for like a week straight. Poor baby. I've been like, hey, Gorgina. And she's like,
she's just always so happy.
I say, Gorgina, Thumbelina. She's like, oh, hi, Hello, Mommy.
Oh my God, the way you tilted that made that, it just popped up on my screen. It made it, it's insane.
When it hits the light, it's like, okay, that looks amazing.
I know.
So some of these are coming up on the brim of the hats. I'm questioning whether I like it or not. My heart's saying no.
I mean, you can always, the good thing about this is if you have any overhang on like the bottom, you can literally just take some scissors and snip it off.
Right.
And make it look like it just cuts off inside the hat.
Yeah. So, and I love that the carrier sheets are sticky, so these kind of stay where I put them, even though I'm like moving this around everywhere. Okay. See how this one's like coming up here on the, past the seam? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to scoot it. You can just kind of play around with the angles so it fits, you know, because I just think it'll look better. It'll look more finished and not as handmade. You know, we don't like people to ask if we made something. We want them to ask us where we got it.
Right.
Okay. Now this one came up on the rim a little bit because I was not paying attention. I didn't realize it was that close. It's ruined. I'm just kidding.
Yes, you could put this on the outside of the hat if you wanted to. We just wanted it to be more or less like a little peekaboo effect.
Yeah, like something different. Because we're going to do stuff on the outside. And some of this right there, if it meets that seam, if you've got a seam on your hat, you can kind of push it in there still and it still will adhere. Okay, and we're just going to keep on trucking. It's nice that these are cut out individually because then I can, look what I did.
Did you touch the other HDV?
I touched it. Okay, listen, rookie mistake. Rookie mistake.
Rookie.
That's disappointing.
I'm going to take you out back and old yeller you.
About half of me wants to pull that off. Okay, listen. 2 rules. Make sure you take your leftover heat transfer tape and just keep it on your flowers so that when you go to do your next ones, you don't actually melt your vinyl. So even the professionals make mistakes. But if you were like, that's ruined, I hate it, you can apply heat from the other side and you can remove it with a weeding tool. I'm just going to kind of show you. I'm not going to take the whole thing off on the live stream because it takes a minute. But like I can heat this up. And then I can, it usually, oh gosh, maybe it won't with the felt. It usually will like release your vinyl. And then you could just have to recut your flower that you want to go there. So I'm going to recut that after the live stream because this hat's really turning out really cute. But you can heat that up and remove it and just put a new one on top of it. I hate that that happened. I honestly could probably just cut a little leaf and put it there.
Probably.
But I love these hats because like, even if they're a little bit roughed up, like it looks cuter. The rougher around the edges it is, the cuter it is. You know what I'm saying? It's rustic. Back when rustic was really in, I could mess up everything. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna know. It was supposed to look like that. Okay, this one kind of moved. So just make sure before you start on the next one that it's exactly where you want it to be because they do kind of move around a little bit. Okay, I love it. And then flip her over and we're going to add our embellishments. So on this one, we did feathers, ribbon, and that like studded leather. Mm-hmm. And this one, we're doing a Western cowboy. I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed. So this one we kind of like did a overlap and cut a dovetail, but I feel like we could tie this one, like make it more rugged. I don't know. What do you think? Do we
I don't know.
Accent on the side?
Here is our boot camp link.
This ribbon is thinner than I thought it was going to be.
Sadie? Sending that. Yes.
Gorgina, Bobina. So, y'all, I had never embellished a hat before, if you want me to be real 100% honest with you. So, I was just winging it. Just make it look cute, you know. The more the merrier on these, in my opinion. I feel like if you add more, it like makes it look cooler and like rugged. You can buy pins for these. You could embellish up here if you wanted to put like initials or something cute like that. Let me get my scissors. Who is here?
I don't know, but somebody has the code.
Someone's in our building. Oh, it's Tanner. It's Tanner. Oh, I think he was trying to be discreet. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, the whole crew's here.
Hi.
We're just wrapping up our live stream.
Oh,
Look.
Goodness, look at y'all.
Isn't it so fun?
Listen.
It's supposed to look like a cowboy wears it, you know? So that's what we're
How do
doing.
you feel?
Put it back on there.
Did that come on the
I love that.
Yeah, this,
So good.
so this came on the hat, but I'm thinking we should put it back. I just didn't want it. I like the cowboy western
You definitely
too.
need that back on there. Show come back. The season. Yellowstone.
Oh,
Okay, this is cute. Look, guys. Look how
so
fun.
adorable.
I love it. Okay, that's the finished products.
Woo! Okay, let's model them.
Oh, this is the back.
Yeah. Alicia,
Wow.
take your hair down.
what do you guys think?
Oh, here.
What do you guys
I
think?
love them.
Are we?
Look at your hair down.
Do we look like
Oh
hipsters?
my gosh.
Yep.
Do we do the same pose? That is freaking hilarious. Okay. Well.
Okay.
Anyways.
You all are amazing. Thank
Love
you so
it.
much.
We'll be back. Anyway, so we are going to be making the toppers for these. Now let's do overhead. I'm going to show you all the two different versions that we're going to be making today. So I've got these two right here. Can y'all see those really good?
Beautiful.
Up a little bit more.
They look so
Good.
good.
Okay, this is our resin one, and then this is one that we purchased from an Etsy seller, and I'm hoping this Etsy seller blows up because of you all. I feel like that would be a really fun day for them. So I'm gonna show you all how to use resin, how to put the flowers in there, and then how to apply vinyl and then seal that resin in if you want to. So these are just super fun. We have different options here. So these are just some that this is one we played around with. We did some gold flake. This one we purchased and it already had, actually they gave us this one. I think the people we purchased from gave us like a freebie.
So sweet.
And then we got these two colors. So this is like a translucent or iridescent type of color. And then we have a gray one here. So all of the links to the supplies that we used are on the supply link page. Let's go to share screen. I want to show you all, this is the close-up of the project actually on the Stanley cup. How beautiful is that? I love to personalize things. I think that's why I love crafting so much. I just love something that just says, oh, that's definitely like Sadie's cup. That looks like a Sadie cup. So all the supplies you're gonna need are here. Right underneath, we've got our font. You're gonna need resin, the light, everything is here. I saw a couple of you asking which Etsy shop that we use. I'm just gonna click on this Etsy shop to show you all.
Shout out.
Oh, look, we have this one right here.
Wait,
We've got
is it?
that.
How much is this?
Okay, so you've got to pick depending on your size. So make sure that you guys know the measurements of yours. And I think we have the 40-ounce curved, and it should be on the bottom. Yours has a sticker, and I'm wondering if it's covered.
Let me try to see what I can do over here.
So, and then once you select that, you can get you can get a clear pack of 15
Oh my
for
goodness.
$13.
$13?
Yes.
What?
So that's less than $1 per thing, and then you can sell them
Alicia.
for what, like $7, $8? Easily.
12.
12.
I mean, think about how much you're investing in this Stanley.
Right.
I mean, this
so, look, they've got all
necessary.
these right here. You can get packs of multiples, and it has all the colors listed here. So they've done all this, and you can see the difference between the 20 and 30 ounce versus the 40 ounce. If you've registered and you haven't received your email for supplies, you can re-register.
Or you can email customer support hi@makersgonnalearn.com.
Yes.
We have a large group crafting with us this week. And even when we don't have a large group, we always have a group.
Yes.
And here on the show, it's just not the best customer care. So
Right.
you need to take all of those concerns and go straight to hi@makersgonnalearn.com. We pay a full team to run customer
ahead.
care. I just wanted to show overhead of
What that's
this
gonna
right
look
here.
like, yeah.
I kind of scraped some of it off. Where's the best place to buy Stanley? Jeannie, I think Dick's Sporting Goods has been doing really good.
Target has them. They sell
Target
out.
now, they do sell out, but Dick's Sporting Goods have had quite a few in.
If you like a knockoff, you can go on
Temu,
DHgate and Temu.
And Temu, they have knockoff ones.
Temu's are like $14. We have some back in the supply room. Do you want to know
a secret?
Yes.
So I was very late to the Stanley game.
Me too.
Very late.
I was later than
I saw a different color of this tan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be my... Courtney got one as a gift, and I just started drinking out of it so much. And once I saw a similar color to this, I was like, I have to get it.
Yeah.
It was sold out everywhere. I had to get it on eBay.
Stop.
I may have overpaid by
I'm sure you
bit,
did. A lot.
But it was so fun, and I love it.
It's like a game.
I love it.
Back to the share screen. I just want to show you all, a lot of people aren't familiar with how to shop on Etsy. So if you follow this link, it's going to take you exactly here where we're at. So you're going to want to pick your size, okay? Check the bottom of your cup depending on your size. And then you're going to select your color and quantity. And so it looks like this seller mainly sells in bulk, but they have these options right here. So let's say that we wanted to get one of these, let's go over here and look at the solids. So let's say we wanted this hot pink. I'm gonna go to select an option and it says solids.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one, I'm assuming it's color. They don't have one solids, one color. And then right here it says add your personalization. And then it tells you, it says these aren't personalizable, they're blank. So you're just ordering a blank tag from these people. And you're gonna type in hot pink, and then you would just add it to your cart, okay? And this shop name is BBJ Craft House, okay? They've got 5 stars, which is amazing. And lots of the 40 ounce Stanley is a popular size. Christine was asking about the mold. So that's how you would order a blank, okay? Now, if you're wanting to do these out of resin, we're going to go back to the supply page, and I'm gonna show you all how you would get the resin mold. Okay, this is also an Etsy seller. Okay, so we're gonna click on this mold right here, and it's gonna take us to Etsy. And this one, so the mold is a little bit more expensive, but you've got to think, you can use this over and over and over again. This is laser cut acrylic. The blanks are laser cut acrylic. This is just a silicone mold that we would add to cart. Make sure you're reading the description over here. There are so many things in the description that can be easily missed. You can hit learn about more. Look, creates a 40 ounce tag. Okay, make sure you're reading the measurements. Make sure you're reading everything over here so you're not ordering the wrong thing, okay? So this shop has lots of other molds that are super cute. And look, they've even got like the Stanley flower topper. I'm obsessed with this.
So
I need to order that actually. That's so cute. And so this one would fit a Stanley cup as well, but you want to double check that it fits the size. This one fits the new H 2.0 Stanley, whatever that is. So you just want to really verify. Okay, so let's go overhead and we'll go over all of the supplies you're gonna need to recreate these. Now, if you're not doing a resin one and you're just doing this one right here, if you just wanna buy a blank and add vinyl to them, which is honestly gonna be your cheapest investment, so you're gonna get the biggest return on, like your profits are gonna be higher, I would just get some pretty blanks. Start out with just a few. Don't get crazy. You don't wanna have a ton of stock on hand all the time. You wanna kind of just have some, see what people want, see what people like about them, and then you can order more as you go.
Yeah.
And you're only gonna need the topper and then some permanent adhesive vinyl. Now we're using StarCraft. We are gonna be doing dainty cuts, so I recommend a high quality vinyl. StarCraft is it for us.
Love it.
I mean, they're like the end all be all. They're so good. If you have Oracal 651, 10 out of 10 recommend them as well. But this is adhesive vinyl. This is not HTV, okay? So we're gonna actually be cutting this. We're gonna have to weed it and then transfer it on with transfer tape, okay? So that's adhesive vinyl. And then I've got some Caesar transfer tape here. I personally love this brand. You can use whatever you've got on hand. So for those, that's it. Now, if you're wanting to make the resin ones, we're gonna be recreating this dried flower one. I'm gonna get these out of the way. So you're gonna need the mold that I just showed you off Etsy. And then you're gonna need some resin. Now this resin is the J Diction. I've got 2 bottles of it in here. We usually buy it in bulk and then transfer it in these small bottles so it's easier to handle. But this is just off of Amazon. This is not a 2-part resin. So it's literally, you just need the bottle, just one singular bottle, and that's it. And you need a UV light. So we've got this UV light here. And this is, I want to say, it says 85 volt to 265 volt. I want to say it's a 10 watt.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. We've linked the one that we used. These are like really good, but honestly, if you live in a sunny place and the sun is shining, go outside.
Yes.
UV resin cures in the sun almost instantly, like maybe a minute. Excuse me. So you're gonna need that. And then you're gonna need some tools to help you maneuver the resin. So we've got a blowtorch here. I don't know if you call this a blowtorch. It's like a mini blowtorch. You can find this at the gas station near the illegal paraphernalia.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, you can find them at gas stations, like everywhere. So you're gonna need that. I mean, it literally just puts out a little, it's like a butane lighter.
I really think there's, with all this considering resin is its own genre of crafting, when you consider that,
for sure,
you're really not needing that many supplies.
Especially if you've like already played around with resin and you've already got like
you already
all your
have
stuff.
the blowtorch or the you know the different things. So it's really good.
Right.
Can this cause any risk for health while using it while drinking? So it's not actually touching your straw. It's actually not participating in any of the
food interaction.
The food interaction.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And you can demonstrate with my cup at any point later. So
okay,
yay, it's so good. Such a great question.
So Kelsey asks, is it actually a blowtorch or a heat gun? It's not a heat gun. It actually has a flame coming out of it.
Yes.
You can use a heat gun though.
Yes.
We just like to use, the flame is quicker and it just zaps it out. So, and I'm going to show you all how to use that in a minute. I've got some popsicle sticks. These are always good to have on hand when working with resin, so you can kind of move the resin around. There's some rubbing alcohol. I've got a brayer just to put my vinyl on. Sandpaper. I'm going to show you guys how to use that. And then I've got some gloves. You're going to want to wear PPE anytime that you're working with resin. Wear the proper PPE that you are comfortable with. We typically wear gloves. If you're not in a well-ventilated area, you can wear a mask. Read the back of the bottle. Whatever the back of the bottle says is what you should do. Okay. And then I've got a standard grip mats.
Yes.
All right. That's everything. Easy enough, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start with the basics. So we're just going to start with the plain Stanley topper that we ordered off Etsy that has nothing on it. We're not going to be doing the resin yet. We're just going to start simple, okay? And I'm going to show you all kind of how to lay it out in Design Space and add your words and things like that. So what we're going to need to do is grab one of our blanks to start. Now I want to talk about this glitter one versus this gray one.
Okay.
What is important about these is that you need to pay attention to the colors of vinyl that you're selecting whenever you go. Is that in the center, Sadie? You need to pay attention to like the colors that you're choosing when you're working with different blanks. Like we're not going to want to use white or pink or yellow on this because it's going to disappear. But like over here on this gray one, we can pretty much do any color except for gray. It's going to show up. So those are things you want to think about when you're working with different blanks. But for Design Space purposes, we're going to want to measure this. Now, this is similar to like a rectangle shape. So I'm going to measure this whole thing right here. This is given like 3 1/4, okay, by 1 1/4. Okay, so let's go into Design Space. So 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, so I just went to Shapes, select a square, and then when it comes in, you're gonna unlock your shape, change your width to 3.25, and then change your height to 1.25. And let's just zoom on in here, okay? Now, there's obviously a hole here. So let's measure how far down that hole goes from the edge. It goes down almost like 3/4 of an inch, maybe more like 1/2 an inch. So I'm just gonna add a circle. This is just strictly for design purposes. I'm going to make this like, I don't know, 0.25, maybe bigger than that, y'all.
And you're going in depth. Like sometimes I wouldn't even go.
Sometimes people don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't. But this is such a weird shaped blank.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we are like doing it correctly. So you can do it with or without the hole. If you're like, that's too difficult for me, you can always just measure from the edge of this hole right here, like this edge right here, to the end of the blank. I think that'd be easier. Let's just do that. So we're gonna do 2.5 inches, okay? So instead of doing the circle and stuff, just to make it easier, we're gonna change the width of this to 2.5. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So now we know we can fill up this whole space, and it's
Smart.
gonna be fine.
This is what I like to do.
Yeah, that's easier.
I like to make the shape the size of my safe zone.
Like
yes, I call that
that's
like
a good way to put
zone.
it. Right. That's your, you know that no matter how big you make your vinyl here, it's gonna fit perfectly.
Exactly.
So we have this 2.5 by 1.25 safe zone.
I call this also I consider it like, it's just, you're getting the most for the least amount of time investment. Right? Like Alicia can walk you through exactly how to recreate it and build your own, like if you needed to. It's just not required. But do you need to? Yeah, it's just not required, which is so fun.
So what I'm gonna do is select it, and we're gonna change this to the color of the blank. So we'll start with the gray one, and then I'm gonna just duplicate it, and we can change this one to either pink, yellow, or white.
Yes.
Just to kind of get a vibe for the glittery one. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna need to download our font. So if you haven't already downloaded your font, you're just gonna need to go to that supply page, and we're going to be using the Celine font. So let's go back up here. This font is one of our newer fonts. It's beautiful, gorgeous.
So good.
And you're gonna find this on the website. If you wanna use a different font, feel free. And we're gonna hit download. That's gonna pop up here into our zip folder. We're gonna click that, and then it's gonna unzip the folder. And then now here, we're gonna double click on that Celine.otf font.
Ooh.
Okay, and then you're gonna hit install. Okay,
Love it.
It's now on our computer, but in Design Space, we're gonna need to go back. So I'm gonna go down here and click on Design Space. And before I do anything, I'm gonna save my project. So go up to the top right and hit save. And we're gonna title this Stanley Toppers. I'm gonna save this to my project, Stanley Toppers. And then hit save. And then in order to get that font into Design Space, we're gonna go up here to View and Reload.
Yay.
And then now, when we go search for Celine, it's gonna be there. It'll be right there. So I'm gonna zoom back in, and if I'm ever too far away, y'all get on to me. I work from far away.
Yes.
It's just a habit. Okay.
Beth says, I literally looked through every single font last night for the perfect one.
Oh,
yes, Beth, love it.
Beth, we're soul sisters. I do the same thing. I'll look for fonts for ages. It's a bad habit. Okay, or a good habit, I don't know. Okay, so my text box kind of went down there to the bottom. I'm gonna zoom back in. And then now we can change the wording to whatever we want. So I want to say this gray one is for Courtney. Now let's change this font, okay? We're gonna keep your font selected so you'll know it's selected if you have this bounding box, okay? And then we're gonna go up here to this font drop down menu. So I'm gonna select right here. And when you initially open it, it may be right here, but you can move this around so it's out of the way of where you're working, which is amazing that Cricut has done this for us. And so what we're gonna do next is go to our system fonts, because Cricut fonts are from Cricut.
Yes.
System fonts are in our system. So I'm gonna go here and let's type in the name of our font. So we're gonna be using Celine. I think this name is really long, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about it. We're gonna select it right here, and look, you can see that Courtney changes right away. Now, what I'm gonna do is resize Courtney down. Make sure your font is locked. If your lock looks like that, and you go in and start doing this with your font, just have me in the back of your brain saying, no, don't do that. Because it just makes your fonts look really crazy. So make sure it looks like this up here, and then resize.
Now, in order for Courtney's name to fit on here, let's look at the measurements of this. Look up here. It's 2.1 by 0.6 in height, you guys. 0.6. We're working with adhesive vinyl. Now, if we were working with HTV and we were applying a heat transfer vinyl that already has that built-in carrier sheet, we could totally cut this out and I would be like, no problem. But since we're working with adhesive vinyl, what happens is we go to weed these, like the little inside of the O or the inside of the E, and it starts to pull up what we cut out and it ruins our vinyl. Now, we're working with the best vinyl that there is, so we may not have issues, but what I'm gonna do is cut out one with the font that we want, and I'm gonna pick another font that I think is a safer choice, and we're gonna cut that one out too. Because I'm worried that that's gonna mess up, and it's because Courtney's name's so long. If I wanted to really if I wanted to make it fit, I could change it to Court, and look, we can size it up, and honestly, that would probably cut perfect.
Love it.
So we could do that if you guys want. And then that's like the main thing. You want to be thinking about fonts and what type of material you're using. So adhesive vinyl, it's not as easy to weed as HTV. So just something to think about. So I'm actually just going to keep it at Court because that's cute. That's what we call her. And then for the glitter one, I saw somebody leave a comment. If this was you, I forgot who said it, but they were talking about on the glitter font that we should use a bolder font because it's going to show up better. And that's such a great point. And you can also stack vinyl so it pops off a little bit more. So let's just pull up a text box. Why are my text box? There it is. And we're going to add a name here. Okay, let's do, oh, we don't want to put your name on the glitter one, do we? Let's just do Lauren's name. Okay.
So fun.
And then we can shrink this down. Now, I want to use a different font because the glitter, you're going to really want to pick something that's bold. And so this pink one is for our glitter one. So you can use a font that you've already got downloaded. If you're a member, you can get another font. That's a perk to being a member. You're going to be able to just go onto the website and pick out whatever font you want. Something like chiffon would show up really well. That's really fun for that glitter. Or you could do something like Fabulosity is really cute. Super retro. So that's a good option, but you just want to think about your blanks, your colors, and all of the things like that.
So good.
Yeah, and I actually think I like chiffon. We're just going to stick with that. I think that's really fun.
I love the chunky font.
Me too. We actually use this one. No, we use Juniper. Juniper is very similar to this on the Easter egg.
The Easter egg is, y'all.
Iconic.
Can we just talk about, I know, so here at boot camp, we try to do like projects that you could make year round, that not seasonal, but like, y'all did an amazing project last week.
Yes.
It was epic.
And everybody's been recreating
you
them.
must go rewatch it.
It's so cute.
So fun.
So we're going to have Lauren's here, and I think I'm going to stack these. So we're going to do like 2 layers. Okay, so we've got some light pink in here, and we've got some white. I'm going to actually change Lauren's to this darker pink. Okay, so here we go. Now all we need to do is hide these. Now if you're doing multiples of the same project, don't delete your squares because we've already measured these out. You know, it makes it a lot easier when you go to cut it and stuff. So what I'm gonna do next, we've got everything here that we need to cut. Everything is sized correctly. That's really wanna make sure you size everything, and we've hidden our squares. The next thing we're gonna do is go to make it, and then we would just cut these out. Now I can put all of these on the same mat. So I've got Lauren here. I'm going to click on this next mat. I'm going to hit the 3 dots up here in this left corner, okay? Hit that, and we're going to select Move Object. And then we're going to select this white mat. We're going to cut all these at once because it's so small, it would be crazy for us not to, okay?
Right.
I'm just going to put this down here at the 5-inch mark. We're going to select our 3rd mat. I'm going to hit those 3 dots, hit Move Object, and hit the white mat again. And then we're just gonna put this down here at the 10 mark. And look, we can cut all of these at once. So let's go overhead and put our vinyl on our mats.
So fun.
Love it. So we can we're gonna do Courtney in light pink. So if we go back to the share screen, you can see Courtney is up on the top left.
Love it.
Okay, so we're putting the color we want for Courtney in the top left. And then we've got one of the Laurens is at the 5 mark. So I'm gonna lay it a little bit above the 5 mark so we've got plenty of room to cut. Burnish it down. And then I'm gonna put this white, which we don't need that much. I'm just gonna trim it off. Cause y'all, these are like teeny weeny tiny. And this one's gonna need to go a little bit above that 10-inch mark. So we're just gonna
I love
right
this
there.
hack, by the way. If you're like, I wanna become a pro, just do this.
Yeah. This will save you so much time.
This will save you so much time cutting vinyl or cardstock or anything like that.
Truly. Okay, and then in Design Space, we're going to hit continue. We're using our Explorer 3 today, and we're gonna be cutting this on premium vinyl removable mats. Keep it at default pressure. You're just gonna need that fine point blade, and we're gonna go ahead and load this into our machine. Make sure it's under those little lips, and it's gonna scan the mat and then cut it. Beautiful, right? Okay, so that's cutting, and then we're just gonna weed it and apply, and y'all, that's it. So
awesome.
Super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some transfer tape so we've got it ready. And these shouldn't take but a minute to weed. And then we're gonna get right into resin. So does anybody have, which I think is important for anybody, even if they are regularly using their Cricut, you always need to be refreshing your knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just gonna weed these. Just got a standard weeding tool here. And this is the really dainty Courtney one, so be super careful.
And there's a couple tips that you could do when you are, weeding that. Like I burnish my vinyl before weeding all the time. You could apply transfer tape and reverse weed it.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab this first Lauren. Okay, we're gonna do a little layer in here.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing the first Lauren, and then we're just gonna take it, and I'm gonna kind of apply it offset to this other Lauren to give it some depth. Burnish it down, and then we're gonna take it off. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna add this to our little sparkly thing here. See how much better that shows up, y'all?
So good.
Look how good that fits. Oh no. I burnished it too hard, you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, be a little bit less aggressive.
Yeah.
We're just gonna lay it back down, burnish it, and then remove
Woohoo, go
that transfer. Hold on. She's wanting to stick because I was a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful. Look how pretty that pink is. So those are the two we just made. How easy was that, y'all?
Yay.
Oh my, this would be a great joy project, Lori.
So fun.
Okay, so there's those two. Let me show them close up, and now we're gonna jump right into resin, you all. Okay.
Woo-hoo. Are we jumping in?
We're jumping in.
Resin time.
Okie dokie. So I'm gonna set everything
This
aside.
is a perfect joy or joy extra project. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be making. I'm just gonna leave it there so you guys can kind of have it in plain sight.
Yep.
I'm gonna be using this J Diction UV resin, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloves on. We're gonna need this, we're gonna need this. I've got my UV light on hand, ready to go. And I wanna say this is the...
Alicia, throw me this. How much...
This one?
Oh, I'm throwing you a question. I was meaning, I'm gonna throw you a question, you're gonna throw me an answer.
I'm gonna throw it back. I'm so dingy
Tell
sometimes.
me. No, it's literally me, not you. Also, y'all, you're talking about me getting more sleep. I did get more sleep than last night, and I just got a second coffee. I had no idea how many, just second coffee solves so much.
It really does.
Anyway, tell me this. Say I'm brand new.
Okay.
I want the light. I want a bottle of your resin.
Yes.
And I want some molds.
Okay.
How much? I would say under $60.
Oh, yeah.
I would say $40 to $60 can get you started with resin.
Get you a couple basic molds.
Yes, but you're gonna make a lot of projects with that too, which is pretty impressive.
And buy you something that's small, like the Stanley toppers is a good starter, or a keychain mold.
So true.
Keychains always are gonna sell, y'all.
Yep.
Keychains are a good bet. So something small, you don't need anything crazy. You can use an actual lighter. You don't have to use a blowtorch. So you have some of this stuff already. Okay, so to start, we are going to put down a layer of resin. So I've got my gloves on, I've got my UV resin right here, and all we're gonna do, and I'm using this mold over here. I'm sorry it's clear. I wish that you all could see it better. I'll try to hold it up. But what I'm gonna do is put down a pretty thin layer here, okay? And we're just gonna use our popsicle stick to smudge it around, okay? Now they do have like resin colorants and things like that that you can use. But these look so cute clear.
Can you use anything other than the UV light? And the answer is yes. The beautiful sunlight you can use. So if it's sunny outside, you can use that. Unfortunately, here in East Tennessee, we cannot rely on that only.
Right.
So we have the light. So it's always loyal. Or if you craft at night.
Right. The sun is my favorite though, honestly. It really is.
Yeah.
Okay. And then sometimes if you go to camera 1, y'all, I have to literally get down here and you can see if you've missed little spots. Like I can see that I need to kind of move my resin over a little bit. And like y'all can't see it from your angle, but if you're working with resin, you'll be able to see it so much better if you get down here at eye level. And then now that it's smoothed out, I'm gonna take my butane lighter and I'm just gonna turn it on and literally that's it. It's like you're just going very quickly. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our flowers out. I'm just gonna sit this here. Okay, so I've got some tweezers here. I'm just adding in, I'm picking the flowers that
So for our newbies, how much resin do you use? Do you fill it all the way up? Do you not halfway? What do you like to say?
A quarter for the first layer.
Yeah.
But you want to cover the bottom surface. So you need to cover it, okay? So you want to make sure to cover it. But it also doesn't need to be full because we're going to be putting we're stacking layers here.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be putting a few different layers on. Oh, these flowers are so pretty. I think I want to use like this little Shasta daisy right here. Look how adorable. I'm a sucker for dried flowers. It's like one of my favorite, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite things of all time. And then that one's kind of pretty, but it's a little big. These red ones are kind of pretty too. Ooh. I don't know, it's not fitting the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my design. It's a little different from this one. But you know, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna turn our UV light on and I like to hold it directly over it. And this usually takes like 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how strong your UV light is. It's really not. And so I'm just gonna hold it pretty close. You can actually like sit it on there. If you did casting resin, you can use whatever color molds. But with UV resin, you have to have that direct UV rays in order for it to cure fully, meaning it needs to harden. And if it doesn't have the UV rays touching it or getting to it, it's not gonna harden. So if you try to use UV resin in like a purple or a blue or a red mold, it's not gonna work. It has to be a clear mold. So obviously this mold is clear. It looks like it's covered in glitter, but the mold is glittery. Like the actual mold is glittery. So yeah, you're gonna want to make sure to do that. And then what I like to do is take my stick. Y'all, it's hardened. It's like magic.
I love it.
It's crazy. So it's crazy. And then, so what I'm going to do now, so this is what it looks like so far, okay? I'm not going to take it out of the mold, but you can see the flowers like are still kind of sticking out, but they're pressed down enough into the resin that we can seal them in. So we're just going to take this resin and we're going to go over top of all of this, okay? And pretty much fill it all the way to the rest of the top, okay? So I'm going to try to be like consistent in my distribution of the resin just to make this more clean, because resin can get like lumpy and gross if you don't have a good like touch to it. So I'm gonna some resins are self-leveling, which is amazing, and some are not. It just depends on what your resin says. This one is like 50-50. I don't feel like it's completely self-leveling.
Right.
Even if it said it was. I don't know that it says it is, but. And then I'm just getting the eye level, like I said before.
Yes.
and spreading this out. We want to make sure that our flowers are covered, because if you do try to wash this and the flowers are sticking out.
Oh, they have to be covered.
Yeah, they have to.
Yep.
Or it's going to get ruined. So I'm just spreading this out. Now, if you accidentally go up on the edges at all, we have sandpaper in here, so we can sand down the edges, which sounds crazy, but it works great. When I first started doing resin, I was like, you sand it? That's weird. But it works really good. And I can actually put a little bit more on here, but what I'm going to do is smooth this out. I'm going to take my torch, cure it, and then do the third layer after I've cured it.
Love it.
Okay. I just thin, in my opinion, when you do thin layers, it just works better. Like curing multiple layers. If you try to do it too thick and cure it, it won't cure sometimes. So you've got to really pay good attention. Okay. I'm going to sit that right
Any
there.
UV lights will work. It just depends on the stronger the light, the less time it's required. So just think about that when you're making a decision on that. How many nameplates can you make with that size resin bottle?
Oh, gosh.
Brianna, you could probably make 20?
Oh, at least.
At least. Like, it's
With
not
this
much
size.
at all. Yep.
With this size, listen, the limit does not exist.
Yeah,
You can make
it's
so
a
many.
lot.
I'm going to actually cut a name for this so I can show you all how to apply a name to the resin one.
Yes.
So we're just going to recut Courtney's name.
Okay.
Because you're going to do the same exact thing if you were laying out names for this one. So we're just going to go in here and delete that. We're going to go to make it and then hit continue. We're still using just permanent vinyl. I'm going to use some of this scrap vinyl that we have in here. And it's nice because while it's curing, you can cut your words out. So it makes it really easy. And I think that white is going to be okay on here. Let's use purple.
And yes, if you're registered.
So we're just doing the same thing we did earlier. I'm using a purple resin to send through our Cricut.
Yep.
And then let's check and see if this is cured. I'm just using the same. Yeah.
So good.
Already hardened. I love it. It's incredible. It goes so fast. And then I'm just going to take my gloves. We're going to add that top coat, and that really should be it, y'all. That should seal it in.
Yep.
Okay. So we're just squeezing.
Look at that.
And this is going to be our top layer. Okay. Take this. Get it eye level. Sometimes you can even take your popsicle stick and kind of scrape it so it's...
That's a good tip.
Yeah, it like smooths it out, especially if you filled it all the way to the top.
Right. I like sometimes even like take it and like kind of like not beat it, but like let it fall on the, like to try to level it out and then use the lighter to like get all the air bubbles out.
Yes.
I mean, this is a fun craft, y'all. Like this is so good. So good.
I love it. So if you all are going to be, if you all have never tried resin before, I want you to put a heart emoji.
Ooh.
I want to know who is here and has never tried resin. Drop a heart
let
emoji.
Us know.
I would love to know.
We'd love to know.
Okay, and I'm just filling in any holes that might be there. And y'all, if you start and you're like, oh, mine didn't turn out good the first time, y'all, resin is something that you really kind of have to work at. But it's not hard, but they're just things that you have to learn to make it work right. So make sure you're following instructions on the bottle. Make sure you're following these tutorials to a T in order to get the results that you're wanting.
Love it.
Okay, and then we're just going to cure this last layer.
Yay.
While that's curing.
Welcome, Robin Smith. I just joined. Can't wait to learn. Yay. Welcome.
Okay, let's weed our word while we're waiting for that to cure. And I have a ton of dried flowers left over, and like you can buy those on Amazon and Temu and wherever. Okay, we're just gonna weed this. Put some transfer tape over it.
So fun.
I love it. This is kind of like an accent color, so it should stand out pretty good on those pink flowers. Does anyone have questions about resin.
They're dropping.
Okay. And then I'm still using that same transfer tape.
Y'all are awesome. So much fun getting to craft with you guys today.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So we're just gonna peel that off.
Yeah.
And then let's see if it's cured. I don't like to touch it with my hand because it leaves fingerprints.
Would you recommend this as a first time resin project? Yes, we totally would.
Definitely.
How long does the resin last, shelf life after it's open? Ours lasts forever. I mean, not ever, but like
it's depending on the brand you buy, sometimes they can like yellow and it's like they last, but they color.
How long would you confidently say?
A year.
A year. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, okay. That should be fully cured. Let's pull it out and see. If for some reason you pull something out of a mold and it's not cured, like I can tell this is a little bendy still, so that's giving not cured to me.
Right.
Like it's still, do you guys see how it's bendy? It's not fully cured. So let's just pop it back in.
Yes.
Just pop it right back in. And we're going to cure it a little bit more, okay?
Ooh.
And it's probably that first layer, to be honest. I may need to take it out and like cure it on the counter because I put that first layer in and then I put those flowers on it. So the UV light's not able to get to the underneath parts of the flowers as easily. So, Deb says, I like to dry my own flowers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun would that be? Like hand-picked
Love it.
dried flowers. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, so much fun.
I love it. So once we pull this out, sometimes there's little ridges, and that's what we're gonna use our sandpaper for. We just get this 220 grit sandpaper, and I'll literally just tear off like a little piece.
Not even much at all.
No, it'll like, I mean, you get like, I don't know, like 12 pieces in a pack.
Yeah. Everything. So good. Love it.
This is what it looks like before I sand it. So it looks a little wonky, okay? It's like the edges are very rigid.
Yes.
And you can see there's like pieces on it. So what we're gonna do is just take this sandpaper and lightly sand our edges. Okay.
Yes, it's looking awesome.
So cute. And then you can add the vinyl and put a layer of resin over top of that as well if you want.
Right.
Also be very aware of sanding the pointy edges. Like this is where it fills in the Stanley cups. You don't want to sand that down.
Right.
But you do want to sand off the excess.
And you use the torch on each layer of the resin. Yeah, someone asked if it's only the first. It's each layer to make sure there's no bubbles or anything like that.
Yes, I used it on every.
So much fun. Can you put the name before the last layer of resin?
Yes.
That's what we'll do.
Yep, we will. I'm going to put it on there and then we'll just pop it back in the mold.
Yeah.
And then seal it in. So this purple is just what I had in here. I don't know that that's my number one choice. Uh-oh.
I like how you're giving so many options. Like if you just want to make this, you could order, the done for you ones and just add vinyl, things like that.
We wanted to have options because a lot of people don't like to work with resin. It can be very finicky.
Yes. Exactly.
I put my seed too close to the edge and now my vinyl's messing up. Please hold. Oh my gosh. You know what? We'll just cut the T off for now. Core.
No worries.
We really cut it off.
Love it. Could you use Maker's Magic to seal vinyl instead of another layer of resin? Janice, you could. That's what I would probably do if I didn't have the resin. If I do have the resin, I would totally use the resin. The resin is just going to cure better, more professional. It's going to give you the better quality look. But it's nice to have other tools in our tool kit. Wendy, we were saying after opened, you would, we would say you have about a year of working time.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So fun.
Okay, so I'm putting like a light layer over the top of this.
So for our tumbler, it's a 40-ounce tumbler. So that's the one we're working with today. Love it.
I'm just gonna push this to the edges, so you really don't need like a thick layer. We're just filling it in.
We're using a 220 sandpaper.
Yes. Beautiful. I feel like everyone's been super pumped about this. I'm loving it. I hope that you all are inspired to try resin, it's just such a fun craft.
Yeah, this is going to be such a great one for you to try resin, guys. So
Yeah.
fun.
It's an interesting
Yeah,
way
we
to use
love
your
Maker's
Cricut.
Magic as a sealer too. So,
Oh yeah.
so much fun.
Okay. And then we will cure that.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the lighter over it.
Yay.
Always get the lighter on it. Is it going?
Always need the lighter.
Always. Usually do like 3 or 4 passes. You really don't need that much. And that's all.
That's so much fun.
Phyllis says the more you work with resin, the easier it is. I 100% agree. And yes, storing it out of light is a very good point. Project is either buying the mold or making it or buy the pre-made. Correct. I wanted to give you guys some different options.
Yes.
Audrey, you could hold the light under the mold. It doesn't go through as strong as like you would think it does, but it does reach it to some extent.
Yeah.
It's not going to cure it as fast as it is with me like putting it right over top.
Will it help to put the lamp underneath the mold?
That's what.
Sorry, yeah, dang it, I was reading the
Right.
comment and you're reading it too.
Yeah, I think it definitely just put it
yes.
on top.
Is the flame touching the resin? It can.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally can. Like, it's not. You're not gonna burn your resin.
I wish that you can really notice it with casting resin because
Yes.
when you spin it, it gets bubbly. And then when you pour it, there's so many bubbles and then they pop. Like as you heat it up, they just burst. But UV resin, you don't really have as much of an issue.
Love it. Grab it while you can. We'll get you the craft. Alicia.
All done.
Bring the Stanley over real fast.
Oh, shoot.
My gosh.
Okay.
Look, guys, I mean, come on.
Should we show them overhead?
Yeah, will you show them overhead and how
Yeah.
it doesn't even touch, like, you know, when you're drinking?
Oh my gosh,
Like,
it's so
oh,
cool.
I love it.
Look, so it's just, isn't that so fun?
Yay!
I love
good.
it.
So good.
And it does hover a little bit, but it's like, it looks good still, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
I
cute.
love that.
Yes.
I literally love this so much. What did you guys think of today's project?